be to God, he gives us the victory. Through my Lord Jesus Christ, it can't live in me.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to ARP in the morning. I am your brother Wise Man. Grace and peace to each and every one of you guys on this fine Tuesday morning. I hope you had a great weekend, a great start of the week on Monday. Appreciate you guys pulling up and hanging out with us for a little bit. I promise you this is going to be the fastest 2.5 hours of your day. We got a lot to get into. But before we do that, today, I got to make sure I introduce my folks. We got the usual prospects in the building. Shout out to Celeste from Celeste_Duffy, Crystal from Crystal Beyond Labels. We got my brother Minister Danzel in the building from Probe Analysis. Also, y'all make sure y'all be on the lookout for the Minister's Mind Trust today. I'm definitely looking forward to it as well. We also have my brother Jason from the J Witt Podcast in the building. And we also have Quisha King from the Quisha King Show pulling up for the first time today. Before we get started, I want to make sure I show some love to my folks in the chat. And y'all already know what time it is. You know we got to start the day off properly. Hunter, my brother Hunter, always comes through with the verse of the day to help us get the show started off properly. Today's verse is out of 1 Thessalonians. It says, do not quench the spirit. Do not treat prophecies with contempt, but test them all. Hold on to what is good. Reject every kind of evil. That is out of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 19 through 22. Shout out to my brother Hunter, North Carolina in the building. Appreciate you, brother, always. Let's see who we got in the chat this morning. We had a lot of folks in there. Papa died. He said his pup is having puppies. What kind of dog, Papa died? If you're still in here, I know you've been up all night dealing with that. But man, that's awesome, man. I'm a big dog fan, man. You know, I have my fur baby, and he is super spoiled. My wife spoiled him up. But appreciate you pulling up this morning. What's up, Lori Addison? How you doing this morning? It's good to see you in the chat. What's up, Sonny? Carolyn, appreciate you pulling up. What up, Junior Ray? How's it going? Wolfheart and She-Wolf in the building. Shout out to you guys. What up, Sensen? How you doing? Scott Young in the building. Murfreesboro, Tennessee in the house. Shout out to you. What up, Lewis? How's it going this morning, man? How's it going with the podcast? I knew you were talking about getting the channel kicking. You know, how's that going? Looking forward to hearing from you on that. What up, B? How you doing this morning? What's up, Marla? How you doing? We got Gerald in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Thank you very much. Mr. Largy's in the building. Shout out to you as well. Cool Ramon's in the building. Shout out to you. Is that El Drewski? Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Thank you guys so much. If you could, please hit that like button for me. Super chat, super thanks are greatly appreciated. You want to support the channel in another way, you can buy your brother a coffee. That link's in the description box below. Shout out to my brother Eric Plummer, who always supports the channel via Cash App. Thank you very much. Eric, man, we appreciate your support on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you very much. What up, Latrice? How you doing this morning? It's good to see you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Thank you very much. Let's see who else we got up in here early. All right. What up, Cindy K? How you doing? It's good to see you in the chat. Thank you for pulling up this morning. If we have any new people in the chat, please let us know so we can properly welcome you to the show. What's up, Hadassah? How you doing? It's good to see you in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you. Is Nanny in the house this morning? I don't know if I haven't seen Nanny this morning. All right. What up, Teddy? How's it going, man? It's good to see you in the chat, man. Appreciate you guys pulling up. I'm gonna get ready to pull my folks up here in a quick second. What's up, Angela? How's it going this morning? New Jersey in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up as always. Coming up in here, hanging out with us. All righty. What up, Queen B? We got Deb in the building. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up. What's up, Jimmy? What up, Anthony White, South Carolina in the house? Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Thank you very much. There goes Nanny. How you doing this morning? Queen B Art Hive in the house. Shout out to you. Appreciate you pulling up this morning. Thank you very much. What's up, Carmen? How's it going this morning? Appreciate you pulling up this morning as well. And before we get going, what's up? My brother Spaces is in the building. What's up? Big Money Spaces in the house. Shout out to you, bro. Let me hold something. Make sure you hit that collection plate today, okay? Appreciate you, brother. Today's show is sponsored by the Garden Project. As you can see, I finally got my t-shirt, so I'm repping today. The Garden Project was born out of a, excuse me, was born out of a clear calling to bring believers together in a time of division, distraction, and isolation. Excuse me. I'm fighting a cold right now, guys. I'm sorry. I am sorry. But as too many churches drift from biblical truth and Christians grow disconnected, the Garden Project creates something different, a fellowship rooted in scripture, built for action and united across denominations. Each month, members gather one weekend at a time. Saturdays are for real fellowship, connecting through shared interests, building genuine relationships, and strengthening faith. Sundays are about service, local outreach led by regional leaders, meeting real needs and putting faith into action. The Garden Project is a community with purpose, one region at a time. If you would like to learn more about the Garden Project, please go to thegardenproject.com. Go and check it out. If you have any questions about the Garden Project, shoot me an email. I will get you pointed in the right direction. You'll see AT. He's normally on the show a couple times a week. So check out the Garden Project, thegardenproject.com. Go check it out, man. Thank the Garden Project for supporting what we're doing over here at ARP. All righty. Let me get ready to pull my folks up. Let's see. I think we got everybody, and everybody is here. What's up, Crystal? How you doing this morning, sister?
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. This is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. How are you doing, Wise? How is the community doing? How's everybody feeling?
I'm doing well, man. I'm fighting a little bit of cold, man. So, my immune system, it didn't go full bore, but I got this little bit of congestion. So, I'm dealing with that, but hopefully I'll be over it the next day or so.
Yeah.
We doing all right.
Get you some fenugreek tea or like something like that. You'll be straight. Tell you. Oh
yeah, I'm working on it. Mm-hmm. What's up, Celeste? How you doing this morning, sister?
You're mute.
So I ain't gonna talk about you today. I'm not gonna talk about you today.
Minister Denzel, he'll get right on it. Don't worry.
I'm not gonna talk. I was like, nope, I'm not gonna talk about you.
You don't even have to. You don't even have to. He'll be happy to do it. See?
She knew it. Need I say anything today? God bless you, man. I love my sisters, man. Y'all are so awesome, man. Looking forward to chopping it up today with y'all, the ARP family, and with our guests. We're looking forward to doing a damage to the enemy kingdom today.
Absolutely. Always. How you doing this morning, Minister Denzel? You doing all right, bro?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. I don't have that cold. Thank you. You can keep it.
Yeah. I'll keep it over here. I won't taint you guys. What's up, Jay Witt? How you doing this morning, brother?
In the building, grace and peace, everybody. How's everyone doing?
Good.
Good to see you all.
Hey, Jay.
I'm doing well, man. Doing well.
Don't be afraid to read my super chat, man.
Oh, I'm gonna read it because I know you're talking trash, but I'm gonna read it.
Don't be afraid to read it, man.
Last but not least, hey Quisha, how you doing today? Thank you for pulling up and hanging out with us this morning.
It's a pleasure. Hey, y'all. Hi, Crystal. Hi, Celeste. Hey, y'all, this is like a family reunion and meeting new people. Thank you for having me, Brother Wise. And Mr. Jay Witt. Hello, Danzel. Hello. I've never met you. Hello. Thanks for having me.
All in the family.
Yes.
Well, we appreciate you pulling up.
My remedy is vitamin C. That's what we do over here.
I'm doing it all. Vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc. I'm doing it all. I make sure I'm staying hydrated too, getting the electrolytes in there as well.
There you go. That too.
Speaking of.
Shout out to Jay Witt with the $10 super chat. Says, Wise got a cold. His chin is cold because he shaved.
I told you, man. Bro, I'm telling you, man. Bruh. Have you ever seen Jay Witt and a cold in the same room?
No, he did not go there.
You know what?
What can I say, bro? Have you ever seen me?
I don't have anybody to blame it on, to be honest with you. I'm not really sure exactly what's going on, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. We're gonna get the show kicked off. First segment of the day. As you guys know, Democrats are holding the country hostage. It's another case of Democrats holding the American people hostage to support their new illegal immigrant voter bloc. And it's crazy out there right now. And there's a bunch. So this clip that I'm about to play, it kind of goes a multitude of directions. Jay Witt, we'll give you the first word when we come back. You can go with this wherever you would like to go. But we're going to start. Opening clip is speaker voice first, and then we're going to go from there. Hit that like button for me.
This threat to the United States of America is not what people think. It's not a foreign enemy across the sea. It's not a terrorist sneaking across the border. It's not some radical group trying to destroy us from the outside or even the inside. Now, I don't want anyone to misconstrue anything that I just said, because all those things that I just mentioned are in fact serious threats, and they should be taken care of immediately. But those are not the greatest threat. Those are just symptoms of the greatest threat. In my opinion, the greatest threat to the United States of America, to our republic, is those that fund and support our enemies. Those who ignore those shouting death to America and who ignore those that openly plot against us. It's those great elite leaders, those that are in positions of power inside of our own borders, that call for us to have tolerance, acceptance, and empathy for the very people that push strange and wicked ideologies.
Put forward the statistics that 0 illegals released into the U.S. for 10 months straight have not crossed, okay? That nearly 3 million aliens have left the United States, that we have the lowest murder rate in 125 years, that fentanyl trafficking is down 56% at the border, and daily encounters have gone down 96%. Hang on one second. We need a strong border, especially now with our current global situation. And I believe that you may say you don't want border control and you're against ICE, but I actually don't believe you in your daily lives. How many people in the audience here had to go through security to get here? Raise your hand. Just be honest. Otherwise, you go to jail, I guess, for illegal trespassing, right? This is an authorized audience. They had to go through security to get through the border, to get right here, to just hear us talk. We need strong borders more than ever right now. We are being infiltrated.
But Elizabeth, can I give you on the border when Renee Good and Alex Peretti were murdered, and death is not a mistake. That was a murder. That was a murder. Now let me finish.
As were those killed by illegal immigrants.
Let's not be dismissive about the fact.
I'm not dismissive. I just said all their lives matter.
Meantime, an alarming report of threats outside Iran. ABC News reports Iran may be activating sleeper cells. Quote, the U.S. has intercepted encrypted communications believed to have originated in Iran that may serve as an operational trigger for sleeper assets outside the country. If true, further illustrating Secretary of State Marco Rubio's point, we are fighting a terrorist government.
The United States is currently engaged in an operation targeting the world's leading hostage taker, the world's leading sponsor of terrorism. They are trying to hold the world hostage. They are attacking their neighbors. They are attacking neighboring countries, their energy infrastructure, their civilian population. They're attacking embassies. This is a terrorist government. This is a terroristic regime. And we are seeing them conduct terrorism using nation-state elements, using weapons like missiles and one-way attack drones. And the objective of this mission is to destroy their ability to continue to do that.
Completely and totally out of control group of people. It's the reason why we are in a DHS shutdown right now, because Republicans have refused to agree to the type of bold, transformative, meaningful, and dramatic reforms we are demanding in order for the Department of Homeland Security funding bill to move forward. And I won't go through all of the demands, much of which we've talked about repeatedly in the public, but one of those demands is keep ICE out of sensitive locations. And we've defined that as schools, houses of worship, hospitals, and polling sites. We want an explicit prohibition that ICE can go nowhere near any polling sites in the United States of America. It's one of our demands. We're not going to bend on it.
Yeah, you guys, so TSA wait times here at Hobby Airport still sitting at about 3 hours this morning. You guys, just take a look at the line. It has looked like this basically all morning, and it is stretching from here where we are past the ticketing area, downstairs to the baggage claim, and literally out the door of the airport. And it seems like this line just seems to be getting longer as the morning goes on. So all of this comes after the partial government shutdown of the Department of Homeland Security as it continues. High demand and fewer open checkpoints because of TSA staffing shortages are what's causing these massive wait times.
The TSA dam may have finally burst over the weekend, and it might not get better as people travel south after a brutal winter in the Northeast. There's still no movement to end the Homeland Security shutdown over ICE. Democrats blame the GOP.
They've made an affirmative decision that they would rather shut down FEMA, shut down the Coast Guard, and shut down TSA as opposed to getting ICE under control.
Yet another missed paycheck by TSA applies pressure on lawmakers to get a deal. Busier travel and longer lines could also serve as an inflection point. There is worry about the core mission of DHS.
This is making us weaker with respect to TSA and our airlines, the Coast Guard, which is critically important, FEMA. And by the way, we're using the money we put in the big, beautiful bill that's sitting there for Border Patrol and for ICE, but it undermines our homeland security if we don't have full funding.
Democrats called for the ouster of former DHS Secretary Kristi Noem, but her removal and the installation of Mark Wayne Mullen failed to move the needle for Democrats. Pennsylvania's John Fetterman supports Mullen, but most Democrats oppose him.
Until we have a Homeland Security Secretary and a White House that are committed to ending this illegality, the terrorizing of American communities by the Department of Homeland Security, I'm not going to support anybody who's up for that mission.
Now, the president said he will not sign any bill, including one for DHS, until Congress okays the SAVE Act that mandates voter ID.
Right. Jay, I'll give you the first word. You can go with this wherever you want to go. I know it's a lot.
Man, there was a lot. There was a lot. Like you said, this thing went all over the place. And I was taking notes, though. I want to talk about what happened on The View. And I don't keep up with The View. I don't know who the blonde woman is that was bringing up the fact that we need strong borders. But I do think that that was a case study in deflection. I saw a couple people right here, even in the chat, were mentioning that, you're changing the subject. That's not what they're talking about, so on and so forth. That was a case study in deflection. Like, she's literally talking about one specific thing, and Sunny Holston comes up with something completely unrelated. It has nothing to do with what they were talking about. It's crazy work. I do think that the American people, the TSA, DHS, and I'm not going to go long, the TSA, DHS discussion, I really think the American people need to sit down, get out of your feelings and sit down and just look at what's going on. They would rather you wait in these 900-minute long lines and to travel rather than stop illegal aliens or get rid of illegal aliens out of the country. That tells you right there, there, they're more concerned about the comfort of persons who are here illegally. Let's just use a proper term, criminals. Than they are about you, your safety, your family, your travel. That's crazy work. And I'm sorry, the fact that y'all going to still keep voting for them, that's going to be on you. That Hakeem Jeffries and all those other yahoos, you need to look at it and say, it's my fault that these people are still in office. Does that mean that every Republican is correct and every Republican dots their T's and crosses their I's? Absolutely not. What I am saying, however, is that Hakeem Jeffries and his posse would much rather you wait in line and miss your flight, not get into Disney World or miss your transfer, whatever of that nature, rather than kick out people in this country that don't belong here. Y'all gonna have to deal with that. I give it up.
So Les, I want to get you in there, but I agree with you, Jason, in reference to the lines at the airport. But my concern is the known sleeper cells that are in this country that they don't want ICE going after.
You gave me too many topics, bro. You gave me too many topics, man. I had it on my list, but I just let me just get 3 of them, and I'm gonna let Celeste let the other people have them. So you gave me too much to cook.
You gave me too much to cook today. But I mean, securing the border. I mean, I don't know if you've watched like the Sean Ryan podcast, and there's a young lady that used to work for NSA, and she talked about how many terrorists that came through our southern border unchecked. Right. Some people they did catch because they were on the terror watch list. But there's a plethora of people that they didn't catch because they hadn't been on the list. They're new recruits. So it's known that we have a multitude of sleeper cells all around the country waiting on the word.
Who they let in.
That's a huge concern.
Yes,
and then you got places like Virginia that want to disarm the people. It makes absolutely no sense to me. But Celeste, you can go wherever you want to go. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Good morning to the chat. I didn't say that because my mic was off. So, hey, chat. But I want to start out here. This is a fight for sovereignty. If we go back to Donald Trump's 2016 inauguration speech, which was, in my opinion, the best inauguration speech I had ever heard in my lifetime.
Mm.
He talked about taking power from the political elites that were sitting behind him and returning it to the people. That's what our sovereign government is. And this is absolutely a fight for sovereignty, the right for self-control and for the control of our destiny as a nation. And what makes a nation sovereign? Really, two things. One is a common currency. So we have an agreed upon medium of exchange. And two is a defined border. So we have an outline of the territory in which we control. And if you look all over the West, you look in Europe, you look here, all over the West, there is an attack on our currency. All of our nation's currencies, all of them have central banks, and all of these currencies can be manipulated and weakened at will by the way you handle your monetary policy and the way you set in the price of money, which we call interest, but it's not really interest. It's price setting. You have to understand that every dollar is a denomination of debt, and that makes the dollar less valuable depending upon how much debt that dollar represents. Well, however much debt that dollar represents is set by a central bank. So maybe today your dollar represents 20 cents in debt, but tomorrow it could represent 50 cents in debt, which means this is how you can actually steal the wealth of a nation and nobody even know it. So we have to pay attention to that. That attack is going on by our elites all over the Western world, and most especially here in the United States, because we are the freest people in the world. And therefore, if the attack were able to overwhelm us, everybody else would fall like dominoes. And they know this. Our elites are not about the sovereignty of the United States. Our elites are globalists. They have a vision of the world, of a global world in which they will all, I guess, organize. I'm only going by the WEF, who seems to have a plan that they've spelled out, that they are going to organize the world under their technocracy, and that they will rule us and control us through AI and other technocratic means. This is their vision. The antithesis of that vision is sovereign nations controlling themselves and working cooperatively with other sovereign nations. Now, again, I said this before, I am not a theologian, but Christians need to wake up, need to absolutely wake up. Y'all want to quote the Bible from first, but never to last. Because if you go to the end of that Bible, there's a book in there called Revelations.
That's right.
And Revelation speaks a lot about what government organization will look like in end times. And you need to think about this as we're getting ready to come up on the primaries in the midterms. Which parties are advocating for policies that are closely aligned with that same type of government organization that is mentioned in that last book in the Bible? Wake up, Christians. This is on you. This is your watch now. We are the watchers on the wall here. This is our watch. We cannot allow this. And I'm not saying we interrupt God's plan. We can't, even if we wanted to. But what I'm saying is we don't help the enemy.
Right. Amen.
We're not, that's not our job, is to go vote them in and give them all the power so
Come
we
on,
can
somebody.
hasten the day for this. That's not, oh, I just want to be with my Lord. No, you'll get, if your soul is right, you'll get there anyways. That's not the point.
That's right.
The point is, what are you doing down here now?
Yes.
You are not supposed to be hastening the moment. You are supposed to be fighting against the wickedness.
Amen.
And this kind of government organization system is wicked. And it said it was wicked in the Bible. Why are y'all out here voting for what you say? This is a God you say you believe in. Why are you voting for the system that is against that God?
My God.
We got to get people to read the Bible. We also need preachers, pastors, bishops, whatever you want to call them, or whatever name they're using, to encourage their congregants to read the word, because that's not happening a whole lot these days. Keisha, I want to get you in on a conversation. You can go wherever you want to go. What are your thoughts?
That was a whole word right there, Celeste. So there was a lot in that opening, but Hakeem Jeffries, let me just start there. He said that the shutdown, because all they're asking is just for for ICE not to go into these sensitive locations. But I don't know about you, but if I knew that ICE wasn't going to be at the church, at the school, at this place and that place, I think that's where I would go if I was a criminal. Like, I would go there.
Come on.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just stupid. They don't actually want for these illegals to be up out of here. They want to keep them here because they opened the border to put them here. Like, I am frustrated by Democrats or Christians, particularly Christians, because it's like, the world gonna do what the world does. But Christians who forget that these people opened up the border, let illegals pour into this country, and then wanted to turn around and be like, what happened? We did nothing. It is such a disrespect to the American people. It is our tax dollars that pay for these services that will be used by these illegals, pay for all of the things that have been given to them off of our backs, and not just ours, our children and our children's children, because of the debt that is being accumulated, by all of this stuff. And that part, the debt is both Democrat and Republican. Yes. But the playing in my face of acting like, oh, we did nothing, and it's Donald Trump. It's Trump that is the problem when it comes to illegal. It's just so ridiculous. And then with I think it was Hakeem. Oh no, I think it was that other the Democrat guy on the Fox panel. He was like, they are banking on Americans' discomfort of these lines and things like that. They are hoping that we get tired of the discomfort, of the inconvenience, of just make it all go away. So we will just go back to everything as normal, how it was going before. We don't want that though. We made that clear when we hired Donald Trump. We don't want. We want a standard, okay? We want a standard in this country. We want our children to be able to go to school and not have to speak Spanish, okay? We want, we can learn on our own if we want to, but we don't want to go into a public facility and have to read all of these other languages and have to feel like, am I in America still? I don't know about you, but when the illegals was at the height, going to the grocery store, it was like I felt like I was in a foreign country. And when you have all of these things coming at you that creates chaos, it can make you want to say, what, let's just give them what they want so it stops. But I encourage every believer to do what Jesus told us to do. Occupy until he comes. Everywhere. Amen. Believers should be everywhere, in politics, in entertainment, active. Active.
That's right.
In everything. We should be leading these institutions, not following behind, trying to figure out what the enemy doing we don't have to do that. We can just come in the full power of the Holy Spirit and do what we got to do. We don't have a reason to fear. We don't have to, succumb to the chaos and just pray and hope that it ceases one day. No, that's why we're supposed to be in those institutions. So if we are there, we will be putting forth legislation that aligns with the word of God. It's not what people try to change from the outside in. but this is an inside out situation. If you put if we go out and do what God says, evangelize those that God has, we plant and water and God gives the increase. When they go into these institutions, they come in the full power of the Holy Spirit. That's why it is so important for us to not forget that part of spiritual warfare and evangelize.
That's right.
You need to evangelize those on the school board. You need to evangelize those that are, in these different institutions. So I'll let somebody else go because I can keep going. But just a little bit of my thoughts off the top.
Minister Danzel, we'll give you the next word.
Wow, thank you so much. Y'all are really killing it, man. I appreciate what you already said. That blonde sister on The View, I think her days are numbered because she's just getting beside herself. She's getting just too much beside her. So they got to get rid of her because she's making them.
She's already gone, Minister Danzel. They
okay.
already replaced her.
There you go. Okay, and no question about that.
No, he talking about Elizabeth Hasselbeck. She's already gone. She was just on there as a guest.
Yeah. She may not be back.
Cheryl Underwood is now there.
She may not be back.
And she'll be useless.
Amen. Right. There you go. The Democrats I have to give them credit, man. They are fearless when it comes to the way they lie to their constituency and the way they lie to the public. They just don't have no fear. I mean, they are so bold and so brazen. Did Hakeem Jeffries say that ICE is going to be barred from the voting areas? And he don't think we know why? Because them fools been letting these aliens vote. So no, we supposed to be stupid though, right? As our sister said, they want to keep them away from all of the areas that they claim are sensitive to tell the illegals to go to those areas to avoid being taken out. I mean, the madness is so blatant. I am fearful that our nation, if we as the people who have God's sense do not step up our game, and I mean really shut these people down whenever they open their mouth, we may lose our nation. I am praying that doesn't happen because we got to be bold. We have to stop being passive and what we call kind. See, Jesus knew when to get rough. I'm gonna say it again. Jesus knew when to get rough, verbally and sometimes even physically. Don't play like he didn't do it. All I'm saying is that our intelligence, our knowledge of what's going on has got to be conveyed to everybody around us. It's time out for letting your family members and your friends and your Christian brothers and sisters talk foolishness in your presence and you not set the record straight because you're afraid of offending them and losing them as a brother or sister. If I have to lose you as a brother or sister to tell you that what's going on in our nation right now and the Democrats and how they hate our nation and the rhinos, if I have to lose you by telling you that information, then I'll lose you and I'll love you from afar. But we cannot be passive. Sister Celeste, I mean, you are so right. We have got to understand the danger that we're facing, and we've got to start seeing this as a spiritual warfare.
Yes.
And we have to understand our responsibility as Christians that God gave us to deal with this warfare. We cannot play like this is some kind of game, and we can sit back and just say God's going to work it out. No, he's going to work it out if you do what he said do. I'm done.
So, at the end of the day, President Trump stood on the State of the Union stage and said, if you believe that the government's first job is to protect its citizens, please stand up.
Come on.
The Republican Party all stood on their feet and cheered for that. Democratic Party, I guess their feet were hurting that day. I don't know, maybe their back was hurting so they couldn't get up. And this is the thing. I agree with Sister Celeste. I agree with my dear Quisha. But I want to point out something. I'm going to stop calling those people that sit on the left and go against God Christians. I'm not going to call them Christians anymore because we keep calling them Christians, but they don't pick up their word. And as it says in Hosea, my people perish for lack of knowledge. And these people they refuse to pick up the word of God and get knowledge, because right in Romans chapter 13, verse 3 and 4, it talks about that the government was raised up for the very purpose of protecting its citizens. and punishing those who do wrong. And if you don't believe that, then go over to 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 13 through 14. Again, it talks about submitting to that government because that is what the purpose of the government is for. So when you have people in place like Timu Obama, who sits down there and tries to make little foxholes for the criminals to hide in, you shouldn't want people like that in office, because that's what he's literally doing. And when you have people, when you have him on one side saying that and blaming the Republicans for why there's no funding, but then you have Chuck Schumer saying we're holding funding, that's division in their whole party, confusion. The devil is the author of confusion. My God is a God of order. So my God will always put it straight. Where you have that whole party don't even know what they're doing. One minute they're blaming Republicans, next minute they're blaming themselves. They don't even know what they're doing. Okay? I stand with my sister speaking voice first, because again, people forget that it is people funding this. Let's look at Neville Singham, that's sitting in China but paying for all this chaos here in America. Let's talk about Soros, who's wherever he is, and the rest of them, and they're paying for the chaos here in America. And they will rightly point out that this is what they want, because this is all about the color revolution. These are the things that they want to see. And no one is like, people are afraid to stand up and say something. So that is why I'm not going to call. I know there are people say, Krista, you can't condemn them to hell. I'm not condemning anybody to hell. I'm saying if you sit there on the left and you watch this, I've said over and over, pick up the Democratic National Convention platform and open up your scriptures. Don't wait for the pulpit pimp Jamal Bryant and William Murphy to get up on the stage and tell you what the Bible says. Pick up the Bible yourself.
Hello.
Open up the Democratic National Convention platform and then look at it. Does what they say align with the Bible? If it doesn't, then why are you supporting it? And again, I'm not going to call you a Christian because you're sitting on the fence. And I've already explained to y'all, when you sit on the fence, that's a fence that Satan owns. So you sitting down here supporting things that are against God, but then saying, praise Jesus. I'm running through the service, screaming, hollering, hooting, hollering, sweating, and the whole 9 yards, but you still support everything that's antithetical to Christ? No. You are lukewarm. I'm not even attaching Christian to your name. If you truly want to be a follower of Christ, then pick up your cross and die to yourself daily. That is what you're supposed to do. And stand up for things that what Christ stands for. Guess what? Heaven has borders. Just in case you didn't know it, there is borders.
No.
Just in case people didn't realize, there are. So stop with the foolishness. We're not supposed to leave our doors open and let people in. If that's the case, why don't y'all go and pick up all those illegals and house them in your house and go ahead and sponsor them? Y'all take care of them. They just live in your sphere, not ours. Don't bring them over here because we don't want them. We want them to go back to where they're supposed to be, because I want you to understand, sleeper cells aren't the ones that sitting down here radicalized, running up and down the street, acting like no. They're your neighbors. They're your teachers. They're the person in the grocery store that sit down there and I could just see the news stories now. I can't believe that Jason was like that. I can't believe that John was like that. I can't believe that Tiffany was like that.
Because they see it, huh?
So nice and so normal. Why would they blow this up or attack these people? That's why they're called sleeper cells, because you're not supposed to know who they are. And again, that is why Trump is trying to do that. And this is what we voted for. Just in case, because people are like, did y'all really vote for this? Yes, we did. We did vote for this. And this is what we want.
Absolutely. Amen. Hey, the ads write themselves though. So I'm for certain that as we get closer towards the election, towards the end of the year, the ads write themselves. And I just need the people to believe it. I say it all the time. When people show you who they are, you should believe them. Listen to them speak. They'll tell you exactly who they are and what they're about. And the Democrats can't help themselves. They can't help but talk and tell you. The problem is you have a lot of folks that don't believe them. Or maybe they fall in line with it and they actually are like, yeah, we're with this. There are a few people that are out there like that, but it's crazy. We'll read a couple super chats and we'll keep it moving. Let's see. All right. Shout out to the X-Ray Podcast. Says there is over 10,000 possible sleeper cells operative in the U.S. Keep your head on a swivel.
Amen.
Absolutely. Shout out to David Milton, says no taxation without representation. Yeah. Thank you, Paula, coming through with the $20 super chat, says retired nurse's opinion on best treatment for viral infections, Zicam nasal swabs. I always use them. Okay. All right. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. Thank you to Amethyst Angel coming through with the $2 super chat, says English been declared our official language. I haven't heard that yet, but it
I
should.
don't think so, not yet.
I don't think so.
Thank you to the Vanilla Gorilla coming through with the $5 super chat, says America is hanging on by a thread. We are that thread. If we break, it begins. No matter what the result is, America will never be the same. It's time.
Amen.
And thank you, Amethyst Angel, for the $5 super chat, says many people can't read the Bible because they can't read. Goodness gracious. Maybe this can be a topic for another day. Our literacy rate is abhorrently high. Yeah, it is. And that's by design, on purpose. I mean, think about how many kids, I mean, I'm in Maryland, Baltimore City. You know how many kids graduate high school that were, reading at like a third or fourth, fifth grade level, which is crazy. You had some kids, there was a kid, the mom was trying to sue the city because her kid couldn't read. And it was just like, wait, you waited until he graduated, he was 17 years old, and that's when you realized that he couldn't read? Are you kidding me?
That says something.
That says something about your parenting. Absolutely.
It does.
Goodness
And they
gracious.
get mad at the school.
Yeah. Oh, she was livid at the school. She was mad. She took no accountability at all. None.
That's crazy. And I think his GPA was like in the, it was just,
it was low. It was very low. But you got to understand, Baltimore City, some of the schools, the valedictorian, the GPAs were like in the low twos, so.
That's crazy. But Amethyst, I agree with you, but you know what? That's the beauty of audio Bible. So for right now, while we can, while it's still available, because we know there will come a day where that won't even be available anymore, but while we still can, they better get into the word. Even if they got to turn on the audio Bible, YouTube plays it all the time. They have so many different versions of the Bible on here for you to listen to. I would tell people, just get in the word somehow or the other, please.
And you know what? If the Chinese Christians who got to read the Bible in caves that can't even speak English, but they know that there is something about this book that I need to get my hands on. I believe that we serve a God who's not bound by our literacy or illiteracy. We serve a God that can talk to you directly. He can bypass what you don't know, what you think you know, and all of that, and cut straight to the matters of the heart. So, we have no excuse.
There's no excuse. I would agree with that. I would agree with that. We'll be right back with Minister Mind Trust. Hit that like button for me if you haven't done so already.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Brother Wise, and welcome to Minister's Mind Trust. Here's what's on my mind. Donald Trump won the election in spite of all of the dishonest lies told on him and about him, and in spite of the honest and accurate criticisms of some of his comments and deeds. There's plenty of blame to go around when discussing the dishonest and unprofessional manner that political opponents have been going after each other in America for far too many years. But dishonest and unprofessional language is the least of our problems as a nation. Yes, there are many who willingly lie to the public, but there are also many who, in the public, who willingly believe those lies and allow them to distort their thinking and to affect the way they behave. The recent Democratic Party takeover of the Jesse Jackson's funeral, in spite of the family's clear request that personal politics be kept out, is just another example of how little the Democrats respect people, even in their own camp. But it also demonstrates just how deeply affected they are with Trump derangement syndrome. TDS, a deep and irrational hatred towards our current president. Without a doubt, much blame for TDS madness let me put it this way. Without doubt, much of the blame for TDS madness that's come over our nation can be placed at the liberal media's feet, and they all should be held accountable by the public for their lies. But in spite of the many sources of false information, the media and among the family and friends, we all are accountable for what we choose to allow to influence us and affect our thinking. Now, this is going to hurt a little bit, but those of you who willingly accept the lies and that left media was and is serving you must be accountable for your own carelessness. To seek to blame Trump, your family, your friends, white women, black men, Latinos, racism, misogyny, or even aliens from outer space for the division and problems we are facing as a nation is simply dishonest. And to blame anyone other than yourselves for the hate or dislike that you feel from President Trump, those supporting him, is not only wrong, it's unintelligent, because it was your choice to believe what you were seeing and hearing. In essence, you were the one who contributed to your own state of mind. It is our obligation to do our best to obtain the most accurate information on any issue, and it is only pride that prevents us from acknowledging when we fail to do so. I will conclude with these biblical scriptures. In 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 21, the Apostle Paul instructs believers to prove all things and to hold fast to that which is good. This means that we are required to prove our claims and not just to make them. In 2 Peter chapter 1, verse 16, Peter says that being eyewitnesses helps us to follow the right way and not cunningly devise fables. In other words, we do not allow what we accept from others to cause us to think foolishly. In St. John chapter 3, verse 11, Jesus puts it this way: we speak that which we do know and testify what we have seen, meaning that we do not just take the words of others, we do our own investigation and make sure we get the best facts. In Ephesians chapter 5, verse 6, Paul warns, let no man deceive you with vain words. This means we are not to let people take us into stupidity by their vain words. In 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 13, he cautions us not to be deceived because evil communications will corrupt good manners. This means that we must be aware of how what we accept as truth that is false can negatively affect our behavior. And finally, Colossians chapter 2, verse 8, he warns us to beware lest any man spoil us through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men and after the rudiment of the world, and not after Christ. In other words, do not allow anyone to convince you to think and act contrary to what Jesus taught. So now the question is, will you continue to pretend that Trump and his supporters are the evil that must be stood against? Or will you step back and carefully evaluate what is happening to you? Will you re-examine your news source and put you in your state of mind? Or will you dig in and continue to blame Trump and his supporters for all the problems that we are facing as a nation? The choice is yours. If you are unable to love and respect people who support Trump without accusing them of being a part of a cult, then you need to check your spiritual mind state. You may be suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. Thanks for listening. I'm Minister Danzel Monk Sr., and that's what's on my mind.
All right, welcome back. Appreciate
God
you,
bless
Minister.
you. Sorry for my little, I got something stuck in my throat and almost couldn't talk.
That's all right.
No
You
worries.
did great.
No worries.
Yes, I loved it.
I thought it was good. Before we move on to the next segment, I did want to hear from you guys on the fiasco of Friday, Jesse Jackson funeral. I thought it was a hot daggone mess. We were talking about it in the text stream, but Quisha, what were your thoughts on that foolishness?
I didn't watch it, but I did hear the son's, his comments about how he didn't want, political. He didn't like the political, all that stuff back and forth. I'm with you. I think the whole thing was just kind of even though I didn't watch it, just the fallout was a mess. And I'm just thinking back, like Jesse Jackson, God rest his. I pray that Jesse was truly saved, because I know at one point he supported you know, he was pro-life and he supported things of the Bible. And then at some point he stopped and got on the, you know, Democrat talking points and, you know, and started spewing this nonsense. So, you know, just by his legacy, you know, I'm not trying, listen, I'm not trying to be disrespectful to Jesse Jackson and, you know, all that. But when we look at it from a biblical perspective, you know, God tells us to not only be hearers of the word, but to be doers of the word. And so when he made this flip and he stopped being a doer of the word, like I really don't, there's nothing really for me. And I'm not, you know, I know a lot of people love Jesse Jackson, but I just don't see how he really benefited America being Reverend Jesse Jackson and, you know, leading with a Christ-like worldview. I don't see that he was walking in what he claimed to be. And so for me, it's like, if you're Reverend, but you're doing everything opposite of what the Bible tells you, or at least what you're saying to people, leading them astray, I got a problem with that. That is a problem. I can't, how am I supposed to big that up? What am I supposed to do with that? Like, that is not from where God brought me from. You know what I mean? Like, many people probably don't know this, but God brought me out of race idolatry, you know, and when that happened, when he did that, it freed me. And so when I see others who still walk in that for as many years, you know, I know my God, and I know that there were many times where God probably spoke to Jesse and said, this is not my way. Amen. This is not my way. Our God does not just let you keep going, you know, your way. I mean, he'll get sick of it, you know, but he gives his grace. I have a problem with people who misrepresent the gospel. And I didn't watch because I didn't want to hear no more nonsense. Like, I wasn't interested, you know.
You didn't miss anything. I promise you didn't miss anything.
But nonsense.
but a bunch of nonsense, to be honest with you. I mean, the clips are out there on X, you know, if you want to peruse, but it was a mess.
Disaster.
It was a mess, you know, and they completely disregarded what his son asked, you know, and they didn't really talk about Jesse like that for the most part. They, you know, went out there and Orange Man bad, you know, it was just it was a full-fledged display of Trump derangement syndrome. That's really what it was.
But you know what, to me, it seems like that's what Jesse, like, I don't even really think, I heard the son, but it's like, but that's kind of like what your father, that's kind of like what he was about. I mean, no shade. I'm just saying, like, a
little bit of his legacy for sure.
Yeah, like when Jesse, there was a time when, you know, during Trump's first term, where he was well enough to say something to remind people of what Trump did for him and Al Sharpton.
Talk about it.
Nothing. He didn't
talk about it.
He didn't defend the guy who helped him when he saw that they were slandering him and doing all this stuff. He didn't even come to his defense.
That told us who he was.
I feel like that is it. This is exactly what you allowed, and so that's why the funeral was like that, because you didn't stand up when you were alive.
Yeah.
You know, so why would they feel like they needed to not be double-minded when, you know, now that you're gone? I mean, you were double-minded when you was out here. What's the big difference? Like, this is what we do.
I agree with you.
Celeste, what were your thoughts? Did you see any of the clips? I know you didn't watch it.
I don't watch. I'm still suffering from Aretha Franklin, who I loved, but that funeral was so long that I don't watch any of these people's funeral for fear that it will hold you for 9 and 10 hours, and won't let these people rest. I did see the clips. I will say this: it was supposed to be, and the son asked for a eulogy. Eulogy comes from the Greek word eulogy, which means to speak well of. Their job was to go there and to speak well of Jesse. They squandered their time and did not do that. And so now that he has been formally laid to rest, now we can go and look at the life of Jesse Jackson. But before we do that, we have to say those Democrats that they invited, the Sun said all were welcome. The clips I saw were mostly of Democrats. It goes to show you that they are absolute zealots. They do not care about your family, your customs, your tradition, your religious practice, nothing. They are zealots for their cause, and they mean what they say. They are trying to bring about a different order in this world. And anytime you give them a mic and a light, they are going to act that way. There will be no venue. There will be nothing so sacred, so holy, so undefiable that they'll be caused to restrain themselves on behalf of anything other than that and who they serve.
Amen.
Come on.
Wow.
Jay, what are your thoughts, bro?
Amen to everything that's already been said. All I'm going to say is, number one, I told y'all you're just a tool. You're just a tool. And sometimes the tool runs really long. The tool lasts for 40 years, 50 years. Sometimes the tool only lasts for a couple of years. It doesn't matter. When the tool breaks, they're not going to fix it. They're not going to sharpen it. They're not going to repair it. They're going to go ahead and pitch it. And this is exactly what you get. Now, this is going to be it, though. This is going to be the deciding factor of whether or not Jesse Jackson Jr. was really offended, whether he was really offended, and whether the Democrats are really offended. Show me how you vote.
Yeah.
You run your happy butt into the ballot box and keep voting for the same people that disrespected Jesse Jackson. You get what you get. If you change your mind and say, you know what, we're not rocking with this, we're gonna try to work with another party, try to work with it across the aisle. Maybe something really happened. Otherwise, I don't care. It doesn't matter. You're gonna keep being the tool. They already put you in the recycle bin. They already threw you in the garbage can. You have to, hey, I know I got a broken blade, but you can still use me. Whatever. I just want to see how you are going to move now that they disrespected Jesse Jackson, or however you got offended. Show me how you vote. That's it.
Good amount of folks, they're not going to change, bro. A good amount.
Well, then
you are seeing
don't say
people
anything.
come out. You are seeing people come out and they're frustrated, but they're not going to change. Crystal,
then don't be mad. Then stop being mad that every time you step on the scale and say the number that you don't want it to say. If you're not going to go out and work out, it don't matter. Stop. It don't matter.
Listen, Jay, I'm gonna keep lying about my scale. I'm gonna keep lying about my scale, Jay. Don't be doing that.
It is what it is. But again, don't be mad at the scale.
Amen.
If you're not going to do something to change it, again, the scale is just an indicator of reality, and what we saw was a reality that Jesse Jackson was a tool.
Amen.
Jesse Jackson. Now he was a long running tool. As long as I've been alive, Jesse Jackson been alive. So I mean, he's been a long running tool, and we just say, hey, now it's done. It broke finally, and now we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next thing. That's it.
Well, they did roll him out. Did y'all see? It was a couple of months back, maybe 4 or 5 months ago. They rolled him out. Out in Chicago. With Jamal Bryant when they were boycotting.
Was that Chicago? Was that Chicago or Minnesota?
That was Chicago. That was Chicago.
It was Chicago. Okay.
Yeah, they rolled him out.
What were they like to make a statement on behalf
Target
of
protest?
Yeah, that's when they were doing the whole Target protest.
Yeah.
And
right,
because if you recall, I had to pull the clip up. It's hilarious because
Jamal
Bryant had the mic, and the dude asked him, like, "Why y'all out here, supporting illegal immigration and so forth and so on?" And dude passed that mic quick. He quick as all get out. He's like, "Oh heck, I ain't answering that. That's not me."
Funny. I'll say as the things that I said when I looked at this, I said on one hand, I feel bad because of the family that's grieving. And what I mean by that is when my grandfather passed away, just for people to come and be able to talk about all the wonderful things that my grandfather has done, you like it, you love it, whatever. Same thing with my aunt. That's what people look for during the time when they're grieving. And they took that time to just totally ignore that Jesse Jackson's casket was sitting right in front of them. It was like Jesse, in their eyes, in their purview, Jesse Jackson's casket was sitting right in front of them, and Donald Trump was standing on top of it. That's just how I saw it. Because the way they just kept talking about Donald Trump. I'm like, this ain't about Donald Trump. This is about Jesse Jackson. Like, that is despicable to me that you came to somebody's funeral and this is what you choose to do instead of honor the person that's there. But then when the son said, I watched 3 presidents who didn't even know my father, that spoke volumes, because then why did y'all invite people? Why did y'all invite them? Because I'm not inviting nobody to my funeral that don't know my family. But even if you do come, you ain't getting
you ain't getting the opportunity to speak.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
You don't know them. So why are you out there? Like, sit down. I'm not that mic would have been knocked off immediately. Shut it down. Why are they coming up there? Because they don't know my family. You're not allowed to speak. So they allowed someone that don't know their family, their father, uncle, grandfather, whatever, husband, up in that stage to talk everything else except about the man that's in that casket. Now, to what Quisha was saying, I agree, but you see, that's why we got so many pulpit pimps, because everybody got reverend this, reverend that, minister, bishop, they got all these different titles.
Yeah, evangelist, prophetess.
Exactly, that's at Marxists.
Apostle.
Those Marxist apostles, Marxist reverends, Marxist preachers, because all they're in there to do is spew Marxism. They don't touch the word of God. Jamal Bryant got up on that stage, pulpit pimp, at that funeral, try to quote a couple of scriptures, and then somebody other reached to pedophiles in Washington. That was it. What does that have to do with Jesse Jackson? Nothing to do with Jesse Jackson, but this is what he took the time to stand up on there and talk about. But I agree with you, Jesse. Our job is not to lie to people. That's why when people ask me, "Do you think my so and so went to hell?" Well, what was their life like? What did they do? Did they take the time to accept Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior? No, then I'm not gonna lie to you. They're not in heaven, because if they did not accept Jesus as their Lord and Savior, from my understanding, they are not in heaven. We know where they're at. And I'm sorry to tell you that, but I'm sorry to tell you that, but at the same time, I'm glad I'm telling you this, because now you make the right decision so that you will be able to have eternity with God instead of eternity without God. And that's where we get to. But Lord, these people, I can't stand none of them. And then when they stood up there on that stage, that one man, I don't know who that was, that got up there and said, we have 5 presidents sitting here. We have President Harris.
President. Yes, he did.
Yes, he did. President Hillary Clinton.
Called Hillary president.
President Bill Clinton. Yep. President Biden and President Obama. I said, well, he should have said 6, because you had Auto Pen Jill sitting right there too. So we might as well have said 6 presidents at that rate.
Wow. She's a doctor, Crystal. She's a doctor.
I mean, she's a doctor, yeah. So, but
she
was using that auto pen, so we don't know where she said. But just watching it and just, I was so irritated just seeing those clips. I didn't watch it because, listen, I steward my time and my money and my everything correctly. They were not getting my viewership. I just saw the clips. I'm like, and Celeste, they were not getting my viewership. Sorry.
I'm there with you on that one. I'm there with you on that one. Denzel, do you want to add anything, and we'll keep it moving?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I just want to say that, listen, the Jackson family found out just how deranged the Democrats are.
Amen.
But think about this, though. It was inevitable. It had to happen, because all of those people that were speaking didn't have a real audience. They were losing their popularity. People got tired of hearing them. So this was an opportunity for them to be heard. So it makes sense for them to all bum rush this funeral. This was every major event like this that they get into, it's an opportunity.
It's PR.
Keisha said, never let a crisis go to waste, man. That's them.
Come on, y'all. This was like, wow, Eureka. We got another opportunity to be heard. And they let it rip. So again, the public got another clear view of what these people think, how they feel, what their condition is. And I'm looking forward in the future to start seeing some comedy commercials about these people, just like they did with the video that they showed. They claimed they were being racist. They need more of those satires to show these people in their real environment. Let's just make some fun of them, because that kind of ridicule is the best kind of exposure.
Can I just say one more thing? You know what? If you look at the lineup of the speakers, it's almost, with the exception of a few, it's almost the exact same lineup that spoke at the Grand Kleagle of the Ku Klux Klan funeral. Robert Byrd, they was all there.
Big event, big
Obama was
opportunity.
there.
There you go.
Clinton
Yep.
was there. Biden did the eulogy. I'm sure Jill was in the background trying to sign something. The same
Y'all
group,
wild.
the
Y'all are
same
wild.
group was at the KKK Grand Kleagle funeral, and I wouldn't want them people that you fresh off the KKK and now you running to my funeral. I wouldn't let them
Make
people
sense.
come.
They all believe the same lies. They have eaten off of the same table. And yeah, I say this on my channel a lot. When you believe the lie, when you believe the lie of Satan, you don't just believe the lie. You are also blinded from the truth. Once you start believing the lie, you are also blinded from the truth, because God is truth. And so when you separate that and start believing the lie, now it's hard for you to see truth. Y'all ever try to like show somebody like in black and white, like a stat or something to show that they're wrong, and it's like
You can't see it. Yeah.
you can't see it because they don't believe the lie. And it's something about that, because when God was delivering me with the race idolatry, it's like, how did I not see? How did I not see this? Nothing penetrated me about what I was doing. It didn't seem wrong, even though I was a professing Christian. I didn't, that part I just didn't make the connection. But we see throughout the Bible, it's not just believing the lie. You do, but you're blinded from the truth. I just
Absolutely. Well, it's one of those things, where if you speak a lie long enough, that lie becomes truth to you.
Yes,
that's right. That's well known.
And that's what we're seeing
down in you. It
absolutely
takes root and it grows. And so when it's growing and truth is coming at you, it's like that soil is taken up. You know what I'm saying? It's like that. The truth can't even get down in there. It'll fly past you, but it'll be like, when Jesus is talking about how the rocks, like some words fell on good ground and all these type of grounds. And it's like the truth, it can't take up root because you believe the lie.
Right.
Absolutely.
One of Hitler's generals is one that coined that phrase about the lie. One of his generals coined that phrase. You tell a lie long enough, people will believe it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Thank you to Tom in Bella. Thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Says thanks all. Appreciate you. LS said it has been reported that Obama was not invited and crashed the funeral like it was a frat party. Oh wow.
I heard that.
I heard that as well. That doesn't surprise me though. Doesn't surprise me at all.
Who didn't like him, he's gonna cut him up.
Shout out to Lynn with the $20 super chat. Says Celeste and Jay Witt nailed it. Barry Hussein Obama is a Marxist first and always. Race, gender, economics, and religion are tools for a means to an end. This is why Obama can support Spanberger over Winsome. More broken eggs. Absolutely. Absolutely. All righty. We'll keep it moving. I don't know if you guys know what's going on, but out in California, man, there is a high probability that the governor's seat could become Republican.
Told you they're gonna change it. Told you they're gonna change it.
Unless they do something. Let me play this for you guys.
Get out. That's the very direct message from the chair of California's Democratic Party to the half a dozen high-profile Democrats that are running for governor. The June primaries are fast approaching and the field remains very crowded. Here's a look at the latest polling from February. You can see the top two Republican candidates are polling around the same numbers as the top three Democrats. And the Democratic Party's worried all those other candidates polling at a combined 30 points could clear the way for a Republican victory for the first time since 2006. Robert Honda joins us live after talking to the party's chair. Robert, what's he saying tonight?
Well, what he said probably shook up quite a few campaigns, but the party chief says it's simple math. Too many Democrats could splinter the primary vote and help Republicans gain a top spot in the general election.
Let's beat those candidates.
9 prominent Democrats have been campaigning for governor here in the Bay Area and all around the state, but everyone is just campaigning right now. This Friday, that changes. March 6th is the filing deadline to become an official candidate. California uses a jungle primary format, meaning the 2 top vote getters in June go on to the November election, regardless of their party. So with 2 Republicans polling fairly well, state Democrats worry so many Democrats will fracture the vote. That's why State Democratic Party Chair Rusty Hicks put out an open letter essentially saying, if you can't win now, drop out.
I'm asking each candidate for governor to honestly and candidly assess their viability to make it to the general election. And if they don't see a viable path, to simply not file. And if they do file, to be prepared to suspend their campaign and endorse another candidate if in fact they do not become viable by mid-April.
San Jose State University political science professor and dean of undergraduate education, Melinda Jackson, says with the 2 Republicans polling pretty well, the request makes sense.
Primary elections don't have a huge voter turnout. So, typically we're talking less than 30% of voters turn out for a primary. So again, if you have Republican voters who are really motivated because they think they might get, 1 or 2 of their guys on the ballot, that could really create some risk for the Democrats this time.
Hicks says he understands with such prominent candidates, it will be hard for any of them to picture themselves not gaining ground.
Reality is that the stakes are incredibly high at this historic moment in our nation. California's leadership, both at home and abroad, is at stake.
There are a lot of great candidates in this race, but somebody's going to have to, kind of put the good of the party above their own personal self-interest.
Well, the Democratic candidates have a few days to ponder that call from their party, and we are hearing that some candidates are already pushing back. For example, San Jose Mayor Matt Mahan. They're saying that they might not be polling that well now, but they will get better later as long as they keep campaigning. Live in San Jose, Robert Honda.
Wow.
Yeah, just forget about what I'm sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm not holding out hope. I'm not going to hold out hope on that one. I like it, but I'm not going to hold out hope. California is going to California, and I'm sorry, I don't see. I would need a whole lot more proof and evidence that this is a reality, that it could really become a Republican state. I doubt that, but that being the case, they could have a Republican governor and still vote like they've been voting. So there's a lot of problems still.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they could get a Republican governor,
overexcited.
but the House and the Senate in Cali is still blue, and they're still going to continue to push crazy bills out there. Celeste, I'll give you first word or next word, more or less. What are your thoughts?
So if you remember 2024, they said that Kamala won California by 3 million votes. They also said that California has 3 million illegal aliens. I'm not saying there's a correlation. Maybe there is. Maybe it's a coincidence. But I will say this. California was reliably red. We got 2 presidents, Republican presidents, out of California, Nixon and Reagan. California was a reliably red state for many, many years until California started to increase its population of illegal aliens.
Right.
Same thing with Virginia. Virginia was a reliably red state. That was on the East Coast for many, many years. Until about 25 years, Virginia has been allowing illegals into the states. So, Jay Witt, I think you're right. You're not wrong for your skepticism. I always want to maintain a level of skepticism for no other reason, but just to try and have some balance. I think we could win California. I think the barrier to California is the voting. And who is voting? If in fact we can get control of citizens with IDs who are eligible to voting, I think we could definitely get the governor's seat. And even beyond that, I mean, that's going to be a mammoth to turn California around. California has been so depraved for so long. It's going to be a difficult thing. What is keeping us from being able to make inroads into these states is really the safeguard on illegal aliens. This is why these states refuse to turn over their voter rolls.
That's right.
They will not scrub their voter rolls. The Democrat dead always vote in prolific numbers. They are Democrats in life and in death. They vote anyway. It's the most amazing thing. That just miracles happening over there. But we have to realize we are the majority. We can win all of these races. What is stopping us from winning these races is this whole illegal alien. I have said before, I will continue to say, and I'm going to land my plane, I do not think that Democrats have enough numbers for a national election. I don't think they have enough numbers in many states to win statewide elections. You saw what happened to Crockett. To win statewide elections, what they have is their history of the ability to stuff ballots and illegal aliens. If you take those two things away, we will be able to see what the real force of that party is. If they are as viable as they say they are. They keep saying we're a 50-50 country, we're 50-50 divided. I don't believe it.
No way.
Take those two things away and then let's see what 50-50 really looks like.
Yeah, I mean, that's why they're fighting tooth and nail to not pass the Save Act. If they really thought that they had the numbers, that wouldn't matter. Quisha, what are your thoughts?
So, Democrats, they don't have any regard for their constituents. Like Jay Witt was saying, you're just a tool. All Democrat constituents are just tools for their own revolution. They care not what you think. And this was clearly displayed to us when they said, you know what, we through with you, Biden. You're done. We're gonna usher in Kamala with no vote. This democracy that they just so wanted to have. Oh, we're just the party of democracy. They didn't feel like having a democratic process was necessary. It tells us everything you need to know about these people. And I would just say between illegals, PR, and redistricting, that the redistricting, that is another thing that has kept them in power for so long, because California is majority, the when you get out of the dense population of like Los Angeles and the big cities, it is majority red. And that sounds crazy to hear, but these people vote Republican in other elections. And so it's like, I agree. If they took their cheating, because I'm gonna just call it that, if they took their cheating away, you've lost. You've lost, but that's just like the devil. Now, I'm not saying everybody that's a Democrat is of the devil, but the party, the party, the top, they work. They do a lot of stuff that aligns with the devil. I'll just say it like that to be charitable. So when you take that away, what do you have? It's a facade. It's not real support. But they got the media that makes it look like they have this real support. They have the redistricting. They have the illegals who do vote. They do vote. And if you don't have voter ID, how would you know?
That's right.
How would you know who's who, what's going on? And the only thing that I would say that might give Californians a little bit of hope is that they are losing money left and right. So, and not literally left and right, but y'all know what I'm saying. Everybody's leaving California. All the businesses are leaving. And so the burden is going to be put, or is already being put, on, people who don't have the money to just pay these high taxes, people who don't have the luxury to, I think I need every car that I drive to be electric. You know what I mean? People who don't have the means to do all this crazy stuff that Democrats want to do. And because so many people are leaving and the taxes are, going even higher, that's the only thing that I see people may start to rethink. But they are dug in those in California, so we'll see.
Minister Denzel, what are your thoughts, bro?
Hey, you remember when what the Democrats in California remind me of? You remember Ali when he was being interviewed by Hal Cosell, and Cosell told him, he said, let me see if you can stop talking for 1 minute. Ali said, no, that's impossible. That's impossible. That's impossible. He couldn't stop talking. Well, the Democrats can't stop pushing. They can't. They'll shoot themselves in the face to get what they want. They don't care about how they affect their own party because of the mentality they have. I think that's good. That's a good thing for us. But Celeste, you are so right, man. There is so much corruption going on there, and so many of their citizens are illegals that may be the problem. But if they get a Republican governor in there, then he may go after them. And so that's why they have to fight so hard to keep these Republicans out of there. But again, you have to weigh the suffering that the Californians is going through with their desire to maintain a blue state. Because some people, it's just a limit to how much suffering you can do before you say the heck with it. Listen, let's just go red. I mean, we have nothing to lose now. So that may be what they're experiencing in California. They're like, man, we'll try anything now. Who knows? Even maybe some of those illegals are saying, listen, I'd rather have a Republican than to suffer like I'm suffering under the Democrats.
That could be, but I mean, if y'all saw it, I mean, Katie Porter is one of the top 3 candidates right now. And we talked about Katie Porter about 6 months ago and the meltdown that she had, on live TV. And the fact that she's still polling pretty high, lets you know that, there's something going on out there in California. Amen. Goodness gracious. Crystal, what are your thoughts?
I'm gonna stick with the Californians in the chat right now because they're real upset with us. And I'm going to listen.
Really? They're upset with us?
Yes, because they say y'all are talking real negative and real greasy right now. And they're really upset with all of y'all. I'm going to tell y'all, Californians, with God, nothing is impossible. Okay.
That's right.
If y'all call it, if it says in 2 Chronicles 7:14, y'all go ahead, repent, seek his face. I'm telling y'all will have a Republican governor if that's what y'all want. But y'all got, not only that, y'all got to go and do some work.
That's right.
Because you can't, I'm gonna tell y'all, like Quisha, I was in race idolatry and God got me out of that. Praise God.
Hallelujah.
I worked for those organizations that helped to put people like Kamala in office. And the Lord released me from all of that. Praise God. I repented. I got out of that craziness. But I'm going to tell y'all right now, what they have over each and every one of us Republicans, conservative voters, is they go out in the community and they do the work.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Conservatives, y'all aren't doing the work. That's why Flip Chicago Red is doing so well. That is why now there's Flip Philly Red is growing because these people are out here.
They're out in the streets. They're doing the work. Yeah.
Go and do the work. You can't sit there and hope and pray that it's going to turn red, but you do nothing. You can't hope and pray that it will turn red, but you're not talking to people. You're not educating people. Because I just saw somebody in the comments say that the Trump is the worst president, and they hate his polling is so low. Clearly, that person's watching liberal media.
That's
because
right.
everybody
They're
knows.
not watching any media because CNN just the other day said that he's polling higher than any of the previous presidents out there. So they're not watching any media.
Exactly. So this
They watch their social media. They watch their social bubble.
Exactly. So this is why you have to get up and do your part. You have to get out there and talk to these people. You have to talk to the community. You have to be out there. You have to go and sign up to be a poll representative. You need to be present, because if you're sitting down at home and saying we're going to turn red, but you sit down and do nothing, it's going to stay blue. So the Lord gave us the ability not just to hope and pray, but he wants us to do. He wants us to do stuff too. You can't just sit there and say, you know what, Lord, it's going to turn red. We promise you. And you ain't do nothing. You ain't go vote, because there's so many Christians that believe that we ain't supposed to vote. That is ludicrous. Don't even listen to that foolishness. They believe they're not supposed to vote. They're not talking politics. They're afraid to talk politics.
Right.
Why? Be bold. Be bold for Christ. Be bold for truth and stop hiding and take back your state and stop hiding. I stand with y'all that California will turn red. I will stand with y'all. We all here stand with y'all that California can turn red. But that requires y'all doing the work and not just sitting here and ignoring what's happening. Y'all have to do the work.
Excellent.
Huh, that's interesting. That is interesting. We'll see what happens. We'll be following it, as the weeks and months.
Can I say something really quick?
Go for it.
I saw someone, Kinsley, in the comments. He or she, they were like, I phone bank, I do this and that. I'm not sitting around. That is great. Here's something. So I ran the Black Voices for Trump office during the 2020 cycle in my city, and we did very well. We had the most Black Republicans that flipped to, most Black Democrats that flipped to Republican in my region. And I did something that Republicans were not accustomed to doing. I went into the community. So what Crystal is saying is a fact. And everybody's like, oh my gosh, how did y'all do this? But that's what we did. And here, I'll say this too. Here's a little strategy that you can do. Kinsley and whoever, and all that are in California, if you ever work on a campaign, if you take you take 3 of your neighbors, you got some information about what's going on with the election, go to just 3, no more than 5. Bring them over to your house.
Come on.
Talk to them. Explain the issues that are going on. Then instruct them to do that same thing at their own house.
Yep.
You have to create a network of people that when it's time to go out and make change, you can call up everybody that's in your network and y'all can show up in mass. That's what you're gonna have to do it. You can't rely on, the party apparatus. Okay. Because let's just be real. It takes a lot of money to win campaigns. It is not hard it is very hard to get somebody over the line to win. It takes a lot of work.
True.
And Republicans just haven't had the best strategy. We're doing much better under Trump. But with strategy and stuff like that, but create the network in your own community.
Amen.
Most people don't even know what is going on. So if you're telling them about what's happening that affects them as when they're in your home, you're going to create a relationship that is like unbreakable. People still call me today and say, hey, Quisha, such and such is running. What do you think about this? Like from 2020.
I believe it.
Because we built that relationship. I'm telling you, get out there and meet your neighbors again. Get to know the people around you and bring them in and help. You got to help them understand what's going on. Don't let them just be out there by themselves and assume that they know, because many times they don't. Sorry, just wanted to say that.
No, you're absolutely right. No, you're absolutely right. A lot of people want to pray and they have faith, but they don't want to put the work in.
Come on.
And faith without works is dead. You got to go put the work in, man. You got to.
Right.
It's important. Extremely important. We're gonna keep it moving. I think we got a couple super chats to read and then keep it going. Shout out to El Pedro Blanco with the $5 super chat. Says, like with the good people on both sides, lie they kept pushing. Okay.
Yeah, that is true.
Shout out to Eric with the $5 super chat. Says, and surprise, surprise, guess what country requires voter ID? Drum roll, please. Somalia. Isn't that a kick in the pursuits?
That's wild.
And LS A-Town in the building. What's up with you, brother? Says, speaking of flipping, Tiffany Henyard has moved to Atlanta and is running for Fulton County Commission seat as a Republican.
Of course.
I see you guys talking about that in the chat. I'm like, what in the world? Like, is this real?
It is real. I
actually
went to look it up. I actually went to look it up because someone texted me because I said that since I'm not running, I'm going to tell people who who is doing what they're supposed to do here in Georgia. That is going to be my mission until I can run again in 2028. I'm going to share that out with people. And so someone messaged me, and they're like, "Do you know Tiffany is running as a Fulton County for the Fulton County Commissioner as a Republican?" So I went and pulled it up, and the list of qualified candidates, she is on there as a Republican.
Don't trust that lady.
Wow.
Don't trust that lady, boy.
Wow.
She's a mess.
That's unbelievable. Shout out to Melissa coming through the $10 super chat. Says, Cali girl, lifelong. I agree with you, Crystal. It's not enough to stand in faith and believe we can break their supermajority and stronghold on California. We have to get out and do the work. Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, you definitely got to do the work. All right, we're gonna keep it moving. We got to talk about Celeste's favorite guy, out here in the media, the ultimate flip flopper, back and forth. Shout out to Lynn with the $5 super chat. Says, when I was a recruiter, had to go where the contracts.
He's just saying
Okay.
contracts.
Oh, where the contracts were. Same for campaigning. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You're right about that one. All right. So I want to play this clip of Celeste's favorite guy, Stephen A. Smith, back in the news.
Come on,
going viral once again.
Again.
He spent a little time. There's a couple clips from the Sean Hannity interview that he did the other day. Actually, I think it's out officially this morning. But
he's committing, though. He's committing this time.
Celeste, I'll give you the first word. You don't want to we come back.
Republican, you can't screw up more than your buddy Gavin Newsom. I notice he's not coming on your show.
Not yet.
Not yet. I've been in a big fight with Gavin.
He certainly has not done that.
Oh, guess why he ain't coming?
I'm going to ask him what needs to be
because
asked.
you laid out for him what you're going to ask him. And guess what? He doesn't want to answer those questions. By the way, I won't take shit from him. And I live rent-free in that man's head.
Well,
he can't stop attacking me.
I'm going to say something that's going to get me in trouble.
Say it.
But I don't care. I will defend you to the hilt against Gavin Newsom for one reason and one reason only. That debate that he had against Governor DeSantis, you could not have been more fair.
It was fair.
I'm saying you could not have been more fair. Because remember, you and I talked before that debate, and I was like, since we want to reveal our text messages,
I'm going to tell you.
Before the debate, I was like, be fair.
Your career's on the line.
I said, you can't. I said, Sean,
the country's watching.
I said, the country is watching. Yeah. You got to be fair. I said, you got to strip yourself from the favoritism role, and you got to go down the middle and give him the platform. And what did I say to you after the debate was over?
You said, I shocked the shit out of you.
You shocked the shit out of me. I said, I can't believe it. I said, you were fair.
I was.
And I was like,
it was good advice.
That's all you needed to do.
Here's my big question.
Yeah.
2028's coming pretty quick.
Yeah.
If you had to pick, I think it's all bullshit. I don't think you're running. Am I right?
I don't think I'm running either because I got to give up my money.
You don't. Yeah, you want to.
I ain't giving my money.
You want a plane,
Sean? I ain't getting my money.
I got it.
I can tell you right now. Let me put the presidential aspirations to bed. From if I have to give up my money, it's not happening.
Cuba, you said that Cuba wants to make a deal.
Yes.
What would the United States get in return for that, and why should Americans trust Marco Rubio to negotiate it?
Well, Marco Rubio is doing a great job. I think he's going to go down as the greatest Secretary of State in history. Look at what we've done as a presidency. Look at what we've done as an administration. They trust Marco, and so do the American people trust. He's been successful no matter where he's been. He also speaks the language, which is always nice and always helpful. But he's dealing, and it may be a friendly takeover. It may not be a friendly takeover. It wouldn't matter because they're down to, as they say, fumes. They have no energy. They have no money. They're in deep trouble on a humanitarian basis.
Names of 3 people in your head right now that you'd vote for president.
You won't like it. You won't like it.
I don't care.
I'd vote for Westmore,
Governor
of Maryland. I'd vote for Josh Shapiro, Governor of Pennsylvania. I'd vote for Marco Rubio.
Okay. Talk about, what is it about Marco?
He's an adult in the room. There is no questioning his qualifications for the job.
If it's Marco and anyone other than Wes and Josh, you vote for Marco over the Democrat?
Yes.
Over Newsom?
Yes.
Over Kamala?
Yes. I'd vote for Marco Rubio over anybody that's out there right now other than Wes Moore or Josh Shapiro. I am going to tell y'all right now, I'm on the verge one of these days real soon of blowing a gasket. If I see that lady, figuratively speaking, in our face one more time talking about she told us so, it's pissing me off. Because it's implying that we didn't support her. Nearly 75 million people voted for her. You had a 107-day campaign. 75 million people almost showed up to vote for you. You had $1.5 billion to spend. We supported you. Why are you sitting at a memorial service in a church with nothing but black people around you talking to us about you told us so, like we didn't support you? I voted for her. Most black folks voted for her. What are you talking about?
No,
sir.
you can go wherever you want. We talked about it. We talked about it. Everybody, kind of thought that he was going to run. I think he's put it out there that he's no longer going to do so. But we did say he is about his money. He's about his money.
Well, all right. So there's a little caveat in that. He said as long as he has to spend his money or give up his money, he's not going to run. Now, everybody knows there are ways. We can get into this if you want, but there are ways that he can protect his money and get his campaign funded. So I'm not wholly convinced that he's out of the run, that he's completely out of the running, because he hasn't said he doesn't want it. What he's saying is there are barriers. Barriers can always be removed. Like I always say, you can do anything if you're actually trying to do something. So that's the first thing. But really what I want to talk about is he maintains his position. You say flip-flopper. He is an apologist. And he's an apologist for Black people. There is no way, and apparently Jews, there is no way Wes Moore should be on anybody's list of contenders. And I beg someone, I'm hoping Jay Witt will do this because he's always quick with the fingers. There is a video of the night Wes Moore won the governor of Maryland dancing to Blow the Whistle. All they have to do, if he has a presidential, you have to see this. Quisha.
I'm done. Now I'm gonna go look it up. Now I'm gonna go look it up.
It's like, are you do it? It's like,
no, he is out there dancing like his life depended on it. It's to blow the whistle. Please look at this, because if he ever runs for president, that's all they have to show is him dancing. All they have to show is this clip and just say, Americans, is this what you want? That's all you have to see as far as Wes Moore is concerned. The reason people keep saying Ben Shapiro is because nobody knows anything about him.
No,
so
Josh Shapiro.
Josh Shapiro. Oh, God. Yes. Josh Shapiro.
I got it.
Yeah, I just found it too.
Please play that. But, and as far as Marco Rubio, and you all know I love Marco Rubio. Me and Crystal had this conversation about Marco Rubio. We got to be careful with Marco Rubio, because Marco Rubio gets A+ marks for all of his diplomatic and foreign policy efforts. And they have to do it now before the midterms in case they don't win the midterms. They have to have all of these hot spots in the world sort of well underway and positioned for where they need them, because they may not be able to do it in the last 2 years of this presidency. But Americans vote on the economy. Americans vote on bread and butter issues. And that may be a place of vulnerability for Marco Rubio. So I'm still going with I see him, at least for now, in a vice presidential possible position. But I think a lot of the reason people keep wanting, especially on the Democrat side and the apologists like Stephen A. Smith, keep wanting to push Rubio is because they know that there's a huge deficit that he would bring in a national campaign. And that's when you can sneak in that affordability conversation and really, really be able to possibly do some damage or gain some inroads. And I'm going to finish here. The problem with Stephen A is, as some part of what Quisha said and Crystal reinforced, and that is he is stuck in a race, gender, class paradigm, which means that the answer to every question he'll ever have is either race, gender, or class. When you are stuck in that paradigm, that means you can't accurately see problems whose solutions may exist outside of that. You'll never find them, which is why he's going to say a Westmore, even when Westmore makes no sense to nobody. Jason, if you can show the clip, you will see.
I just sent it to Wise.
I got it.
Just make sure you mute the audio. Make sure you mute the audio.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna be. You have to hear the.
Get a copyright.
All right, I'll leave it alone.
Yeah, it's
But
copywritten. It's music.
My point is, all they need to do is show that clip. But this is why he keeps talking about his love and respect for Westmore. He never cites anything Westmore has ever done. He doesn't cite anything Shapiro has ever done, other than being pushed aside because he was Jewish. That's his only requirement, accolade that Stephen A. has ever given him, because he cannot see any problem that exists which solution could be found outside of the race, gender, class paradigm. He's blind.
Westmore has put it out there that he doesn't have any intent on running in 2028. And a lot of it has to do with a lot of what you described, Celeste. I live in Maryland, and it's been a sugar honey iced tea show since this dude got into office. He's raised taxes on everything, tolls, man, you name it. Man, he everything. I can't think of anything that he didn't raise the taxes on. I mean, it's crazy. And people are leaving like it's nobody's business. Maryland is right up there with New York and California right now. People can't wait to flee this state. It's gotten so bad. And it wasn't like that before he got in, but yeah, he's basically run the state into the ground.
Why you should get a flag and they should just follow you. Y'all should march out like the choir does in the church. Y'all should go 2-step right on out of there.
Hey, I'm trying my best. There is a sign in my front yard right now. You heard me? Seriously.
Reasonable price.
Seriously. Very reasonable.
I think Stephen A. is full of it. Okay. Like, to the brim. I ain't buying none of it. How do you see what happened? If you're so clear-eyed, you're the one that's got the moral compass and you see everything that's going on. How you didn't see that Kamala was on some? How do you vote for Kamala Harris?
No excuse at all. That's right.
There is no. I would rather him have said, you know what, I just didn't vote. To me, that would have proved more that you had that you weren't just so committed to the Democrats at every call. There is no way that I can take anybody seriously who voted for Kamala Harris. I don't. Not when that
Tim
was
by default.
Like, if you got that wrong, I do not trust your judgment in politics. Sorry, that's pretty easy. If you can't get that one right, then no, it's a no for me, dog. Okay, like I just don't. There is nothing that he is saying, presenting. I mean, okay. Fair enough. Sometimes he tries to be Mr. Fair and Balanced, which I think is why he threw in Marco Rubio. I think it was just see, I'm fair and balanced, everybody. I'd vote for Marco. Lies you tell. You wouldn't vote. If you would vote for Marco, then why didn't you vote for Trump?
Facts.
But when you vote for Trump, Kamala is worse than Westmore because she was actually the vice president. She's worse than Westmore, and she's worse than Shapiro. But you voted for her anyway. It's lies. That's how I feel.
Crystal, what are your thoughts?
Y'all know me and flip-flopping, Stephen A. I just can't with his flip-flopping stuff. Like, all he does, he goes wherever the wind blows. Let's just be real. The wind blow left, he go left. The wind blow right. Because, come on now. And the fact that you stood on your platform and said, we voted for you. You sounded like Tyra Banks when she was saying to that girl, saying, "We were rooting for you." That's literally how
He sounded right there. And no one should be proud to say that they voted for
Kamala Harris.
Like,
Seriously.
you should never be standing up there claiming that so boldly and so proudly, because now I got to question your judgment, sir. Not you're a hot mess. There's nothing that he said in that whole thing that made. Listen, unlike Marco, because y'all know I love me some Marco. I mean, like Celeste, that is, she know how I love me some Marco. I don't care. Listen,
and I'm not mad.
And I was one who did not like Marco Rubio. I'm telling you, when they said Marco, when Trump said he's picking Marco Rubio, I was like, for what? Then I was like, oh, I understand. I like him. I like Marco. Me and Marco, we here. But Westmore didn't y'all have a whole like sewage issue up there going on?
It was just about 2 weeks ago. Yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
This man don't do nothing. Like, come on. And I can't wait to see this blow the whistle performance that he got going on here. I look forward to seeing this blow the whistle performance. But this is what I'm saying. They just be putting people, that's that racial idolatry. That's what this is about.
That's all the left has, though, is identity politics. That's all they have is identity politics.
Because they can't look past that. So instead of stopping and saying what is best for the United States, what is best for my state, what is best for my city, well, they look like me. What does that mean? The people who look like you have ruined your communities. Look around you. Look around you. The people that align with your so-called democratic policies have ruined your community. Come on now. At this point, y'all need to stop. You know, I always say it, and I'll say it again before I land my plane. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again.
A different result.
Expecting something different. At this point, y'all should learn and move on. What did Twinkle Toe Fingers, Sparkly Fingers, Tim Walz's wife said? Turn the page. Jazz hands. Turn the page on the Democratic Party at this point. Just turn the page. Move on, please.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Minister Danzel, get in there. What are your thoughts?
I'm interested in seeing how they're going to use Mr. Slick, because you're right. He's just a smooth operator. He's trying to be everything to everybody, and he made it clear though he's about his money. So I'm interested in seeing who's going to throw some money at him to get him to do what they want him to do to balance the scale or to give them the upper hand. I'm not sure how that's going to work, but I'm sure that there are people out there that's listening, they're watching, they know what he's about, and they have deep pockets. So I'm just looking to see how they strategize to use him, because he does have a benefit. He is a blessing. That man can be a help to somebody. He's got the gift of gab. He can talk. He's got the popularity, and he knows how to throw his words around. So let's see who's going to do that. I mean, I think that the Republicans should find some way to use him, and use him to their benefit, and just see how it goes, because letting them just be out there and be wasted, not to use him as in some way, would be foolish for any politician.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe, somebody told him, he had a little birdie come to him and say, hey, bro, if you can't get on board with this, and this, there will be no money put behind you for a presidential run. And now he's coming out and kind of backtracking, because if you recall, we talked about him, 2 or 3 weeks ago or so, and he was, real, he had his chest pumped out like he had legitimately had a chance. So maybe the powers that be got to him and was like, bruh, you got to get on board with these things in order for us to put money behind you. And I think we all know what those things are that you have to get on board with if you are going to be the Democrat nominee.
Somebody's going to use them, that's for sure.
What are your thoughts, Jay?
So I'm always worried about people who make drastic political changes, and there hasn't been anything really, the night after an election loss, they say, well, you know what? I'm no longer supporting the losing candidate. I'm looking in another direction. Nothing really has changed. Right. So I'm always wondering about that. And so looking at Stephen A. Smith, going to what Celeste said earlier, he just moves too much. Like, I don't know if you're principled in this. I don't know if you really believe this, or you're just looking for, and this is just a good place to jump in. That's how we ended up getting Candace Owens on the conservative movement, is because of something like this, where she wasn't really vetted, she represented a face, she represented a lot of support, if you will, money draw, and people said turn a blind eye to her ideologies, and now look where you are. So I'm always worried about Stephen A. Smith. I think he says some interesting things, but I don't think they just sound like words to me. So he hasn't really convinced me of anything that he's really principled. Now, if he stands up against the bourgeoisie, if he stands up against the melanated Marxists and really puts his foot down and stands against it, maybe I'll change my mind. But at the moment, I just see like it just seems opportunist, and it seems very convenient and safe to say what you're saying. Show me when it doesn't, when it's no longer safe. Then we can have a conversation.
So true.
Yeah.
He's a fraud. In my opinion.
I agree. If he can't stand on it, he needs to sit down because
Yeah.
somebody come and tell him something. Hey, listen, when you stand up for conservative values, you know that you're about to get terrorized, attacked, and all of those things. Especially when you look like us. Oh, you definitely gonna get.
You don't want that.
And the fact that every time we don't get to see it in the front, but it happens behind the scenes. Sometimes it happens out front, but behind the scenes, Stephen A. Smith gets a call, he gets a text message, and all of a sudden he's backtracking all over again. So that's what you're going to see.
Yeah, but he spends a lot of time with conservatives, at least on TV anyway. You know, he spends a lot of time with them. He doesn't get a lot of invites. He's tried to have Gavin Newsom. He wouldn't come. He's tried to have Jasmine Crockett come on his show. She wouldn't come. So, you know, I don't know if he's in the in crowd like a lot of us think he is, but I don't think he's ready to make that pivot because he works for Disney and he doesn't want to mess up his bag. You know, he's making $20 million a year. So he's not willing to risk that either.
You're making my point.
The crazy thing, you might actually make more if you came out from among that foolishness. You actually might make more because you step out and step out in faith and move out of that Disney realm and move into this space. The amount of people that will support you because they know what it's like to leave that party and come into this space, and they know that they will run just the same way as Jay Witt said. How quickly did they just scoop up Candace and made her the face immediately? They look, Nikki, her songs are selling out. They're streaming high because she stepped out from there. So every time you make that step, that bold step, now just saying for money wise for Stephen A. Smith, when you actually stop being afraid, it actually benefits you. I mean, you're gonna get a backlash from the boule crowd because they don't like it, but at the end of the day, it might be better for you.
He's like that. That's that bird in the hand. He got $100 million contract. That's bird in the hand right now. I can't be on your maybes and hopefullys.
Great point, Wise. Like I said, that he's got the gift. He's got the gift, and somebody's going to use him. He can't be neutral. He can't. Somebody's going to tap it. Somebody's going to tap it. They're going to figure out a way because he's about the money. And if you got the money, I'll sing your song and I'll find a way to do it. But he's about the money. He made it clear. He came out. Listen, I'm gonna let nobody mess with my. So he's a very valuable commodity. There's no question about that. The man's got the voice. He's got the talk. Somebody's gonna use it. People out there are desperate right now, and they want to win. And when you want to win, you get the person that you think can help you win, and you throw the money at them. This is the way it's gonna be. I'm just trying to figure out who's gonna do it.
Well, Minister Danzel, and I do agree with you, but we'll know for sure when you hear Stephen A. says that he's in lockstep with the trans movement. And that he's for, boys competing in girl sports. When you hear him come out and say that, like, hey, I've changed my mind on where I stood with that particular. When that happens, that's when you'll know, okay, he's been tapped. That's when you know.
Wait, he said that?
No, he didn't. No, I'm saying if he does. Because, I mean, the last thing that we seen on that is he was like vehemently against that movement. So when he comes out and changes, when you hear him change his mind and say, hey, I know what I said in the past. I am actually for this. I don't see anything wrong with it. Just like Jamel Hill came out and was talking about the fact that, there's only about 10 athletes in college sports that are, a part of that trans movement.
Somebody got him.
She sold her soul.
Points. I will say too, like, it's like politically speaking, the Democrats have their own sort of inside war that they're going through because the progressives are very, they're progressive. They're not just traditional Democrats. And Chuck Schumer's and Nancy Pelosi's, who are more moderate, they have lost control of their party.
Oh, definitely.
But they are still in control a lot of the money. So they got a problem because the base has become basically radical too. But they know that they can't win with a radical base. So
Right.
who do they put their money behind? They need the people to come out to vote, and the progressives, they come. They strong.
Oh, the far. Oh yeah.
Yes, they
Yes.
Crazy. They crazy.
Not only do they come out and vote, Keisha.
I'm sorry.
Not only do they come out and vote, they spend money, and they'll get out there and do the work. They'll door knock. They'll protest. They'll do all of that.
All of it. Yes, they do. And you can't really be a moderate right now and win with the Democrats. That's why Zohran Mamdani, that's why it's like, how y'all are losing, but you're losing like national elections, but you know, it's particularly your more radical people, but I believe that they are afraid of their own party because they know if they in lockstep just come out and say, you know what, we're not going that way anymore, which is what they're trying to do, I believe, with like Barack supporting Tallarico. And you see like these little races where like they're not going with the more radical person. They're trying to, you know, turn around and go to the
Tallarico's very radical.
Oh God, he is, but he doesn't come off radical. But they're struggling with their base, which is radical, and what can actually win. And how is Stephen A going to, or someone like a Stephen A going to be able to you know, square that?
Fit into that.
It's like, it's a no.
I don't know, Tallarico, there's enough footage out there. We could probably do a Tallarico segment on a week-to-week basis of the craziness that comes out of this dude's mouth.
Yeah,
I just saw one last night, Wise. I just saw one where they asked, tell me something that you love that is not your family or your friends. And of all the answers, he says trans kids. I'm like, wait, what? Not Jesus, not Texas, not America. Trans kids, not even just kids, specifically trans kids. That right there tells you how cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs that man is.
It was. I call him a wolf in sheep clothing with the clothing that don't fit. they so skimpy on him. You can't even see the sheep clothing. They like a little piece of little thing on him. He's all wolf, man.
But I hear Quisha, but I also feel like we have that same problem going over here on the right too. In a certain way, because you have the people like the Marjorie Taylor Greens, the Nick Fuentes to come out and say, that's everybody crazy, don't vote Republican, vote Democrat, and let's throw out the whole movement and start again. And you're just like, wait, what? So you have a lot of them on the right doing that same foolishness, and you're just like, where do these crazy radicals come from? And how much money they getting? Because they're trying to
somebody's paying them.
They're getting $7,000.
No, they get more than that.
But but on our side, they haven't taken over, not yet. And prayerfully, they never will. On the other, when the Democrats, when they laid down and they let the radicals take over, right around when AOC was, you know, when she came in, they let them have it because they were winning. But then they went too far, and now they're like the horses out of the stable now, and they don't know how to bring it back in.
And they ain't giving it back.
Prayerfully, that doesn't happen on our side.
And why showed that clip where it was I think you showed it was like a cuckoo bird, how the Democratic Socialists are here to basically take over the Democrats. They don't like the Democrats. They hate the Democrats. They just want to suck the blood out of them, suck them dry, and they want to take over. That is their goal.
But it's because the elites all have the same thing in common.
That's right.
In the end, they may have different ways of pursuing their vision, but in the end, they share the same vision.
Right.
So the Democrats have to concede to the so-called radical faction of their party, because it's the radical faction that's saying, we want to get to where you want to go faster. So it's not that Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer don't have a globalist vision. They believe they're just too slow in their globalism for the radicals. The radicals are saying, we have a path that's much faster than yours, which is why they consistently concede to these zealots, because in the end, they share the same vision. They want to end up in the same place.
Yeah. Well, you look at the Democrat Party right now, and it's that old adage of, you know, the enemy, you know, what is it?
My friend.
Exactly. Because there's a bunch of factions in there. They don't like each other. You got the, you know, the Muslims, you got the alphabet community, you know, you got all these different factions within the Democrat Party that don't actually like each other.
That's right.
And but they all look at each other as the useful idiots to help further whatever their agenda, and then they'll fight it out amongst themselves to figure out who's king of the hill, you know, within that faction over there. I mean, it's really
but
crazy.
I actually think they all love globalists more than they hate each other.
Yeah.
And which is why you can get Muslims that, you know, can tolerate the LGBT and be in the same group. This is why, because in the end, they love the globalism more than they hate everything else.
That's true.
Yeah, we read a couple super chats. We'll keep it moving. Let's see here.
A better way
Shout
to
out to
say it is
Lynn.
that better way to say it is that they need each other for that, to get that power. They don't really love each other, but they need each other, and they recognize they can put aside their differences to get that power.
Yeah. Shout out to Lynn with the $2 super chat. Stephen A. Flip Flopper in Chief.
That part.
Thank you, Jeff, from It's Not Your Fault. Allen Out Recovery Channel with the $11 super chat says, Marco Rubio and I went to different schools together. No joke. This guy. Thank you to Juggernaut. Stephen A. should write a book called The Fence. Crystal will write the foreword for him.
Yep.
Shout out to Ebenezer coming through with the $2 super chat. Says, please keep up the good work. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
And shout out to Dean Rodriguez with the $5 super sticker. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, Dean. All righty. I want to play this clip. Everybody knows that, you know, a lot of folks have been going crazy about Jasmine Crockett losing last week. And the sisterhood is not happy about her losing. And they're basically saying that the whole People of Color Coalition is no mas. And I want to play this for you because I just thought it was hilarious, to be honest with you. So that was pretty funny. So let me play this for you guys.
Y'all see this? Doesn't this look very reminiscent of what we saw when Kamala didn't get elected? White, Latino, and Asian people. Y'all are the problem, and that's just the reality. And the Latinos and the Asians, this is exactly why we ain't doing that POC shit no more. Because when push comes to shove, y'all love our culture, but when push comes to shove, y'all vote in line with the white folks. So y'all can stay over there with them. Stop using our culture. Stop trying to act like y'all part of it. All of y'all. I don't want to see no K-pop, no hip-hop dancing from no Asian people. I don't want to see no Latinos over here with their, but we you know, all the Mino blacks, but then y'all want to be bumping hip-hop music. We're done. At this point, this is exactly why Black people are saying what we're saying. Because when push comes to shove, the numbers show. Voting is statistics, y'all. That's what I think what a lot of y'all ain't getting. Voting is a statistic. The way that you vote is counted as a statistic, and that's how we get numbers. So you can't say it ain't what it is when the numbers show what it is. The data shows. And this is exactly why you see all the Black people on the internet saying, F this, we're done. We did what we're supposed to do. Because just like Kamala had, you know, we had the 92% of Black women. You had, I think it was 80% of Black men. Overall, with the Blacks, 93% for Jasmine. We always do what needs to be done. And we do it for everybody else. We don't just pick the people because we like them. We pick them because they're the best. And every time we tell you, just like we told you to vote for Kamala, you didn't listen. And now y'all be on the internet crying about how shit is and crying about your kids going off to war, but y'all don't listen. And then you got another chance again with Jasmine and you did the same shit. So y'all clearly don't want to learn. So y'all, good luck to you. We're done.
Jay, you got the first word, brother.
I have so much
For sure.
to say.
Because I know everybody's going to. I just want to know who voted and elected this woman as a spokeswoman for Black people period. I just need to know who that is. I didn't know that we were electing. Maybe she was down ballot. I didn't see it or whatever like that. I don't know when this actually happened that she can vote on behalf. She can speak on behalf of Black people. Isn't it funny that when she said, look, Hispanics, look, Asian people, y'all voted wrong. And so we're going to take our stuff. And the only thing she could take away from them was hip hop music. That's kind of that right there. That's all we contribute. That's all she sees as we contribute is hip hop music. And she's supposedly the Black representative of something. That's crazy work. Like literally, that's all you can consider that we bring. That's why they think of you like that. That's why they treat you like a tool. It's because that's all you do. Like, oh, we just bring hip hop music. I'm sorry, ma'am. She didn't look like she's done much dancing anyway. So she might need to go ahead and take that thing down a whole notch. That big back behavior needs to be getting. She needs to get some exercise. She needs to go ahead. I've been quiet today, y'all. I've been quiet today because y'all don't look. I was trying to be quiet to the end of the show. Now I'm acting up so I can get kicked out. But the very last thing, yes, those are statistics. But ma'am, you're making it sound as if just because somebody alleges and calls themselves Black, that Black folk need to. She said we did the right thing. We did what we were supposed to do. What was the right thing? What were we supposed to do? What if the person doesn't align with my values and my interests? Now, granted, I don't know what Tallarico done tricked y'all with. Y'all better pray because that dude's theology is wild.
Right.
And if his theology informs his politics, y'all in trouble. But I think y'all were in trouble anyway. I think the options were bad. Danged if you did, danged if you didn't. But my point is, the idea that Black people, it's funny that Black people love to act like the highly melanated community, love to act like we're not a monolith, but then sometimes we're a monolith only when it's monolith approved and adjacent that we could be a monolith. Otherwise, we think like individual. What are you talking about, ma'am? I don't know the spokeswoman for Black people. I need y'all to get her. I need to find out what are our marching orders. I need her to speak more clearly, if y'all could.
I thought that was hilarious. I'm really tired of people, talking about, the military and they're sending people off to war. I mean, the majority of people in the military are white people. The majority. Oh no. The majority of the United States military is white folks. That's a fact. Like almost like 55%. It is drives me crazy, man, when I hear that.
I love these people.
It's just like, what are y'all talking about, man?
Brilliant.
Guys, can I just say
go for it, Crystal.
Can I just say, all right, cool. You'll take back your hip hop. They'll take back your bundles. So I don't know how you're going to manage without the bundles because hey, how you going to be doing this? See, this is real. So I don't know how y'all going to be doing this when they take back their bundles.
Not the bundles. Wait, now hold on. Now we didn't know about that part. They didn't know about that part. Now they ready to negotiate. Now they ready to negotiate.
Exactly, because they don't want the Asians no more. So you don't want them. Go ahead. They will take back every bit of their bundles, and I don't know how y'all gonna manage without their bundles now. Okay,
put bundles in the chat.
Because this lady, like, come on now. Because people. So now I agree with Jay Witt. Tallarico is Antichrist spirit to 10th power. Let's be real.
Yes.
That is Antichrist spirit to the 10th power. That's why majority of the Republicans was like, no. Let's vote Jasmine in. Let's put Jasmine in. We got with Jasmine. Most Republicans were actually standing with Jasmine. Okay. But the fact is that you want to sit down here and the thing is y'all like to tout like y'all did something. Black women specifically, but Black people in its entirety is the reason why Scamburger is in Virginia. Y'all were so proud to say that y'all put Scamburger into office. Now look what happened to y'all. Look what happened to y'all when y'all decide to do that. America said, we're not playing with y'all. We're not putting Kamala in office. We're not doing that. We don't want Kamala in office. We want someone that will save America because America was going downhill and going downhill very quickly. Now you want to sit down here and you want Crash Out Crockett to have won. You upset that Crash Out Crockett didn't win, and then you want to take back everything. You can't go to no more of the taco spots. You can't go to any of those places. Don't visit Mexico. Don't visit what you call it, Dominican Republic.
Hey, Crystal, that hibachi too. No more hibachi spots.
No hibachi because y'all know y'all like to
no tacos.
Stay away from hot pot. Stay away from Korean hot pot now.
Exactly.
Hey, leave the ramen and the poke alone, people.
That's right. The mayo.
We gonna take back our black culture. Y'all want to be part of our culture? We gonna take it back.
Oh no!
Take back hip hop.
Oh no!
But it's gonna be real interesting when y'all ain't got none of those spots, none of those ramen spots, none of those taco spots, none of those spots you can't visit. You can't get bundles.
Crystal, remember Saturday Night Live, news lady? Never mind.
Exactly. That's exactly how it's gonna be because y'all ain't gonna have nothing. So you better watch your mouth. Don't be sitting down there acting like all these other cultures y'all gonna be tapping into as well. Black people tap into them other cultures as well. So don't do that. See, when you start doing the math, all of a sudden that math ain't mathing for you no more, and you want to fix that. So as Jay Witt says, nobody voted you in as this person to speak for black culture. Shut your mouth.
Wow. Oh, what? They rejected the wigs, weaves, and lashes? Like, come on.
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
They're not the Americans. Let's just be real. Who's trying to steal black culture? Like, let's just keep it all the way a buck. They don't even rock with Kim Kardashian like that, okay? Because she's too black culture for even them, okay? Like, because nobody actually really wants degradation, debauchery, and all of the things that black culture represents. Okay, let's just keep it all real. She's talking about, I don't want to see this, I don't want to see that. Ma'am, you had no concern, just like a Democrat, what we want to see. We didn't want to see all that. Okay, we didn't want to see all
know
what
that's
you got
right.
going on, but you put it out there anyway. Okay, and then it was not appealing. Let me just say that. And another, all of this, like, oh, we're the blacks and we did what we were supposed to do. Ma'am, have you looked at the black community that's 75% ran by black women? That's your evidence right there. Let's pause right there and take a gander at what's going on with all of these black women that are running these homes and their children into the ground. We see what black culture does, and when women are leading, I'm just saying, we see it. Okay, so miss me with this whole like, oh, we gotta listen to black. You really don't want Americans, to really zero in on the black community like that, do you? Because we're gonna have a lot to say. We're gonna have a lot to say. We've been letting y'all been leading, and the results are in, and they're not good. So you want us to keep putting you in charge? You can't even run your own house. You can do life without a man. You're not here. You're not. It ain't the math ain't mathing. It's so ridiculous. And I don't know, but isn't Joe Biden white?
Yep.
No.
They voted for him, didn't they? He's
Come
not
on.
black.
Come on.
He's not black. He ain't a brown. He's white. And they voted for him after he said y'all were like cockroaches. He said that
You ain't black if you don't vote for him.
With you, if you ain't, he tried to take your blackness from you. If you don't vote for me, you ain't black. I mean, he's just
they're gonna put y'all back in chains.
They gonna put y'all back in chains. But somehow he's not racist. Somehow he's the white guy that you can count on. That's the one white guy. It's cool. You can vote for the white Democrat. Okay, it's just the white Republican that's a problem. So my question is it really skin color that's the problem? That, I mean, this woman, it's a skin color thing, but you don't have a problem. You ain't have a problem with Joe Biden. You'll vote for Beto O'Rourke. You'll vote for Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, all these other white folks. It's just so. But when there's a black person in the race, then we got to be, it's about being black. It's just so funny to me. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm done.
No, you're absolutely right. No, Quisha, you are 1000% right. And at this point now, I think the veil has been removed. It's not about the amount of melanin that you have. We literally just watched the race in Virginia where black people in lockstep supported the white woman over the black woman, Winston Sears.
It's a lie. They don't mean. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. So it's not really about race. It's about party. And they only care, if you're black and you're a Democrat, you're good. If you're black and a Republican, they can vote against you.
That's right.
And they will vote against you. They've shown that they will. It's not about that anymore. I mean, I said this, 2, 3, 4 weeks ago. We've been on this for quite some time. When Tory got out there and said that it's okay for white folks to call black people that work in ICE or Hispanics who work in ICE derogatory names, the N-word, so forth and so on. At this point, they just let you know exactly what time it is with them.
Hello.
They let
It's
you know.
not a secret.
No.
Yeah, they're
These
not
people
hiding
make
it
me
anymore.
so sick. I just listen to what they say.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to what they're asking you to believe. That lady got up there and said out of her mouth that we doing it. We ain't helping you no more. Ma'am, what are you talking about? Your own community is in shambles. And you think you can provide the prescriptions for the rest of the country?
Yeah, get out of here.
And Quisha, and you said it. You said the how they can't even run their household. They teaching their little girls to be baddies. That's their thing. Let's teach our kids to be baddies. That's the culture. So yeah, that's what we want. That's what we want. You can't run nothing. Sit down.
Sit down.
So let's get in there. What are your thoughts?
Cat Williams used to have a bit in his comedy routine where he said that Black people are never going to go against the Chinese as long as they making orange chicken as good as they do. So if they looking, according to Cat Williams, to get us from over there, like Crystal said, the bundles, the orange chicken, these people start talking about, okay, well, if we can't have your hip hop, which nobody want, then give us back our internet. These people out here
Not the internet.
Running your security systems, doing all of your coding. Get off their internet, okay? So,
oh no,
you want to be very careful, like Crystal said, before you start telling people what you're gonna take away from them, because they're gonna start thinking of things they could take away from you. So it's not a productive way to go. But I will say this. I have and been a long supporter of many of the ideas of the manosphere. And I do have some conflict with some of the ideas of the manosphere. I think that they're well-intentioned and they really have offered a lot into the conversation, but I think they miss some things. But where I think they are spot on is simply asking the question, at what point and under what conditions can you be critical of a Black woman? Can somebody please provide us with the information? We just need a short bullet list. We are willing to follow if you just let us know what is the point and what are the conditions in which you can be critical of a Black woman. The problem with these people is because they voted for her because she was Black. They can't understand why you wouldn't do that, because they're willing to vote for you because of whoever you are. So why wouldn't you do that for them? They don't realize other people aren't doing what you're doing. So that's why you're so hurt. And part of the reason they're so desperate, particularly to see Black women elevated into these positions, as a part of what Quisha was saying, these are people that do not have personal accomplishments. And this is why you so desperately need to see yourself reflected in public accolades. If you had your own accomplishments, it would not matter to you if what's that lady named Brown Jackson is on the Supreme Court. It would not matter to you if Kamala Harris is vice president or pursuing the presidency. These things only matter to people who desperately need to see themselves so-called reflected in public spaces of high accomplishments and high accolades, because you yourself have garnered no personal accomplishments. People who are personally accomplished do not set all of their self-esteem in things outside of themselves. So you are telling on yourself when you say how sad it is for you that this person didn't achieve this high office or didn't achieve this accolade. What you are actually saying is that is my only access to that level of achievement. And since you didn't give it to them, I know surely you would never give it to me because I have less to offer than they do. It is a sad commentary. And these people who are out here all over Blue Ivy's internet crying about Jasmine Crockett do not realize that they are telling that they are psychologically vulnerable and weak because they have wasted their life, according to this woman, in hip hop and in Black culture, accomplishing nothing and looking outside for specifically white moneyed Democrats to give them something publicly that they can be proud of, since they don't have anything privately of their own.
And with that being said, we're gonna get out of here because that was a mic drop right there. Thank you, Celeste. Oh my goodness, you done torched the daggone stream tonight. Today, goodness gracious, I like that. That was awesome, man. Shout out to Karen, says God of Blackness idolatry. Yeah. And thank you very much. The Warden coming through with the $5 super chat says, where was all this smoke for Winsome Sears when she ran against Spanberger in Virginia? Absolutely. Absolutely. With that being said, we're going to get out of here.
Hey, listen, I got to remind you of something that sister also, you have to get that there's an element of public assistance that's playing a role here. This sister probably was on public welfare or public assistance, and she didn't want nobody mess with her money. So she's campaigning to get people at office going to keep on keeping that free money coming that you don't have to do nothing to get. So don't take that out of the equation. There are a lot of these people that know where their money's coming from, where their free money's coming from, where they don't have to do nothing for it. And they're going strong to get those kind of people in office. So I think we have to keep that in mind too.
I would agree with that. I did see something and I was gonna do it today and I decided not to, but in Pennsylvania, they've had, I think, 60,000 people come off of government assistance, not because the government pulled them off. It's because they don't want to work the necessary 20 hours a week in volunteer work or whatever to get the assistance. So they just decided that I'm not working. So they lost the benefits. That was just reported out in Pennsylvania. I wonder what that looks like across the country. But yeah, these folks, man, people are lazy as all get out, man.
I'm telling you,
crazy.
Man. Good point.
That is crazy. But appreciate you guys pulling up, man. Shout out to all the Blues helping to keep things peaceful in the chat. I know it can get crazy sometimes, man. All the ARP family members, thank you guys. Quisha, thank you so much for hanging out with us. This is your first time. Hopefully it won't be your last time coming to hang out.
I hope you have me back.
Yeah, we'll definitely get you back on the show. Jay Witt, as always, it's a pleasure, my brother. Appreciate you. You doing good work over there on the channel, man. I see you. I'll be watching. I'm trying, man. I'm trying cooking. You starting to cook over there, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm trying. Thank you guys so much, man. Danzel and Celeste, Crystal, thank you guys so much for pulling up, man. I hope you guys enjoyed the Minister Mind Trust today. I thought it was phenomenal, outstanding, man. Keep doing what you're doing. I look forward to Tuesdays because I know we're gonna get a good word from the minister. I know we're gonna get a good word.
Yeah, I'm going to disturb a lot of people in the coming weeks.
Keep it up.
Amen. Shout out to Clay with the $20 super chat says, love the conversations today. The whole panel did a great job. Thank you, Clay. Appreciate that.
And yesterday was my birthday off, so please keep me in prayer.
Why are you just now telling us this? Why are you just now telling us this?
I didn't want y'all to make no big thing about it.
Minister Denzel, you know you got to celebrate the rest of the month. The rest of the month. The rest of the month. Okay?
The rest of the month is crazy.
Another year.
Oh, wow.
Well, happy birthday to you, brother. Appreciate you, man.
God bless you.
Man, that's awesome, man. You should have said something earlier in the show. Y'all make sure y'all show Minister Denzel some love in the chat.
That's
man.
right.
Amen.
Yes.
Come on, Minister Quarter Zip. Y'all make sure y'all show him some love in the chat.
That's right.
Thank you guys so much for pulling up, hanging out with us. Lord willing, we will be back at this thing on Thursday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just so you know, hey, Jay, I'm gonna give you a call after the show, but just be on the lookout. It is call-in day on Thursday, so you know if you want to add anything to the conversation, you know you want to speak to any of us up here, you'll get an opportunity to do so on Thursday. So reach out. The plan is to have a raffle to give away one of Celeste's books, The Ass Backwards Way to Move Forward, a signed copy of it. So I think that'd be pretty dope. So if you want one of those, and I think we'll do a raffle for a hoodie as well, one of the Pray Don't Worry hoodies as well. I think we'll do that on Thursday as well. So you guys make sure you pull up, come hang out with us Thursday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, Quisha, thank you so much for pulling up today. And appreciate everybody pulling up and hanging out with us. Everybody that supported the channel financially this morning. Thank you guys so much. And as always, keep God first. Stay prayed up. We'll catch up with you guys next time. Peace.
It is God who arms me with strength. Yeah, I'm battle ready. He trains my hands for battle. My heart stays steady. But Thanks be to God, he gives us the victory. Through my Lord Jesus Christ, fear can't live in me. I was down to the dirt, red clay on my shoes, old pain in my shirt, oh so bruised. And the Lord hit my chest, kicked air from my breath, put power in my step.